You've got the look in your eyes. You're on a mission, burning ambition. You've got your eyes on the prize. You've gotta rise to the challenge. Show them what you got. Set them to take what's yours. You are kings now, Clash of Titans.
Hey, the bell has rung. We are here, Tornado Tag Podcast. We have a lot to unpack today, news-wise and wrestling. We'll try to blow through some of the wrestling so we can latch a little longer on some topics and have a good conversation here, because we still got to cover In Your House.
In your house.
In your house.
We'll brought to you by Ico Pro.
We'll probably start the show.
I can't think of In Your House music. I kept thinking of like
the
old SummerSlam music.
I mean, when I think of In Your House,
that was a Royal Rumble.
Yeah,
when I
it was
think
that,
of
and it was for something else too.
Yeah, I forget what it was.
SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Like yeah,
Something like that. Yeah.
When I think of In Your House, I want to be with my baby tonight.
Okay. Spending my time working hard on the go. With the hands
Best
on
match
the
we
top,
watched that night was
spinning
Shawn
too
Michaels against
slow.
Jeff Jarrett.
Yeah. We'll probably start the show with that, but let's get into some news quick. Before we get any of that, if you like what you hear, hit that like, hit that subscribe, go buy some merchandise, help us out, go support local wrestling. You can always check out Blue and Gold's page and buy some t-shirts, or go check out some other people's pages below. Speaking of Blue and Gold, interviews this week, or next week on Wednesday. Yeah, Robin. Next week on Wednesday will be the interview with Andy Hedder.
Yes.
We're going to learn about Andy Hedder's career and you know, fun stuff there. And then what we going to do? What's going to happen? Oh yeah. We so we
listen to that, and then up next is an interview with somebody else.
So we got some cool things to announce. So we've been working on it for a while now. We're trying to get to the point to get a laptop. Mm-hmm. I'm happy to announce the laptop is being ordered tomorrow.
Oh wow!
Tomorrow.
Cool.
I don't know when it's going to be built and shipped here.
Oh, okay. You're gonna get built.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not like in stock.
Yeah.
There you go.
Because I did some customization.
Oh, okay.
I made this a fucking powerhouse.
Wow.
This is
Are
going to be...
you gonna take that one and just throw it away?
No. That's
Just
gonna
beat it with a bat.
It's going to be like Office Space.
Yeah. Take it out
Damn,
of the
it feels
backyard.
good to be a gangster.
Oh, boy, that was loud. Yeah, we're gonna leave it as a backup. Probably use it for other things, but it will not be used. Like maybe like on the show we'll have like I'll pull information up or something with it, or we'll figure something out.
You use it to monitor the chat or something like that.
Yeah. But ordering. So what that means for you guys is, I know a lot of people are like, YouTube is taking a hit. A lot of people are not watching or listening on YouTube anymore, and I take full blame for that. For a while there, when I was like, we're not doing video, I'm just going to stop uploading them to YouTube. And then I had a few people message me like, hey, that was the way we like to listen to it. And I was like, all right, my bad. Yeah. And I uploaded like 50 episodes in 1 week to get caught up, and then I've been putting them out weekly. I think I forgot to put up Not Cool in High School. Got to do that later. I'll just put up, but anyway, we're going to be not only back video, but it's going to be a live stream. This show is going to be coming live. So if we're recording on Thursday nights,
it'll be in 3D.
It'll be
3D.
in 3D,
4K.
4K, full nudity.
Yeah.
Oh
No, no, but we will be. It'll be a live show as we record on a Thursday night, so you guys can interact with the chat. Or you can do live donations and things can pop up. We can have interacts with you guys. Maybe you guys can. We'll find cool things to do
Live on Facebook, right?
Yeah, YouTube.
Oh, you.
We're gonna,
okay.
We're gonna go live on YouTube, and like I said,
Does the chat work the same way?
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Pretty much.
Because I watched NWA live on YouTube, but I made it big so I couldn't see the chat.
yeah. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to be back as a live streaming show. And not just for this show. It's going to be for Not Cool in High School. It's going to be for Bangin' Beers. And also with Not Cool in High School, we may also take some days, maybe on a Saturday, everyone comes over and hangs out, or a Sunday, and we let's play video games. Like we take turns playing some retro games. So we're going to bring some video game streaming content on there as well. I know
do a Jackbox thing and have the crowd participate in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we could play the Jackbox, absolutely. So yeah, we could do stuff like that. But I know for me personally, you'll probably see me streaming a lot on the YouTube page, playing video games and kind of being a regular thing.
Yeah.
with the Not Cool in High School on YouTube. So that's something to look forward to. So, thank you guys so much for the support and buying merchandise and really helping us out and hitting that donation button and giving it whatever you can. It means a lot. And we'll continue to grow and keep, like we said, we're gonna what we get, we invest back. And the laptop is coming, and not only laptops are coming, we'll probably get some cool other little accessories. Headphones. Our headphones are getting a little old here, and they're kind of uncomfortable at times. We'll try to get some nicer ones. New lights. We'll have different lights and stuff. The set has been. Shebang. The set looks the same to you guys, but it has been reinforced. It's not just hanging up on a string anymore. It's actually it's up there. Heidi did a good job of working on that. So the set will be ready to go. So we have a lot of cool things, man, and I just want to thank you guys so much for all of that support. That being said, let's get to the news. Brian, what do we got?
Well, the big news that just broke a few hours before this show, WWE very quietly released a very quick statement on their website. Basically saying, in an effort to streamline our creative writing process for television, we have consolidated both teams from Raw and SmackDown into one group, led by Bruce Pritchard. Paul Heyman will concentrate on his role as an in-ring performer. Before this, they had SmackDown team and the Raw team, and Bruce Pritchard replaced Eric Bischoff as the executive director of SmackDown very early on. And since, last June or so, Paul Heyman has been the executive director of Raw. Now he's Talon again, which there's another hint that Brock Lesnar is probably going to be coming back soon. And
our Paulie does nothing.
Paulie does nothing. And now Bruce Pritchard will be basically Vince's right-hand man when it comes to creative.
Man, that guy, when Something to Wrestle With first started, and he was asked, do you think you'll ever be in WWE again? He goes, probably not.
Yeah.
Right.
Look at me now, Mom.
I know. That's what he wants. I like Bruce, but he's a kiss ass, and that's what he wants. To just be like, yes, Vince, that's a great idea. Let's do that. We should have more basketball games on Raw. That's a great idea.
Do you think that's Pritchard?
I think it's Vince, and then
I think it's Vince,
and then Bruce is just like yes.
Everything runs through Vince.
Yeah.
I think some of the stuff with the Jeff Hardy thing might be Pritchard.
Ooh.
But then again, it's writers pitching. So usually the way I think writers are pitching stuff, and they're going to say, oh, we want this, we want this.
I guess they said whatever's supposed to happen tomorrow on SmackDown is even more uncomfortable than what happened last week.
You know what it is, right?
No.
And this is not confirmed, but it's been speculation that Sheamus is going to insist that Jeff Hardy take a urine test before their match. And that somehow it's going to end up with the cup of urine being thrown on Sheamus. Oh. That's the rumor. And this is why they do it.
It's piss.
Giggling. That's why they do it.
Piss.
You know what I thought of when you told me? You ever watch Workaholics?
No, I haven't.
So there's an episode of Workaholics
I've seen a few episodes.
where they all get high the night before, and they all get piss tested at work. And the one guy's like, he had fake piss, but he was messing with them. He goes, if you want my piss, you have to eat the ceiling tile. And he starts eating it, and they're like, oh, it's terrible. And then he's the other guy's like, and he goes, oh, look at boys, the sweet, sweet smell of clean piss. And he knocks the cup into his face, and he goes, it was fucking Gatorade, like, you know what I mean? He goes, and he's like, oh, so he goes, this is actually the real cup. And he walks over and knocks that one in his face. And he's like, why the fuck would you do that? That's the only piss we had. He's like, you made me fucking eat a ceiling tile. But just the way, I don't know. That show's so stupid, but it entertains me. But yeah, Sheamus is going to get pissed on him. Cool.
Maybe. We'll see. And
I can't believe they would do that after the R. Kelly thing has been so popular.
I can't believe they would do that on network television. That's why I read that.
I think Fox was like, piss. Yeah, we don't like that.
I read that. I'm like, I don't know if this is real or not. I think this might be a fake spoiler. So
I can't wait for that shirt.
The piss shirt.
Yeah.
The piss?
The Jeff Hardy piss on me shirts.
Yeah.
It's going to be great.
It was a great when Drake Maverick pissed his pants. That was one of the highlights of all time.
Yeah.
God damn, he pissed himself.
Let's fire him and then bring him back.
We need a poop joke soon. We're getting a little old. But, yeah, awesome. So Bruce Pritchard is going to be...
Yeah. He's already calling the shots on SmackDown, so it's going to be more of a uniform thing over
How much of it do you think was when he did the podcast, he still protected the business and protected Vince?
Oh,
and Vince was like, oh, he's got my...
Well, Vince never listened.
Vince didn't listen, but somebody was like, hey, Vince, he, took care of you.
The rumor with Pritchard being fired was, there was an incident where he allegedly pulled a gun somewhere.
Yeah.
But the rumor was always that it was Triple H and Stephanie clearing the way out of Vince guys and bringing in their guys. Like, John Laurinaitis didn't get fired, but he got demoted. He was the VP of Talent Relations, which is actually Triple H's job now.
I didn't get fired. Not all the way. Vince, you look great today.
But he's a
and then Triple H gets demoted, and it looks like
so it's just Vince. I think it's Vince centralizing power back with him instead of like Triple H has his own little fiefdom there with NXT, and Stephanie's the chief brand officer now, and she's more just like doing things on that side of things, and it's Vince being like, okay, creative is mine.
Yeah, he's like, XFL didn't work out. Daddy's home.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, awesome.
And I remember when Pritchard first came back just as a consultant, it's like. That was around the time AEW was announced. Like, okay, Vince is going to war. He's bringing in his trusted lieutenants.
Yeah.
Like, he's bringing in the guys he trusts, and that's Pritchard.
All right. What else we got?
It worked out better than Bischoff.
MLW had a big announcement. They're doing a streaming deal now with DAZN. DAZN is a sports-focused, really combat sports-focused streaming service, and MLW will be on there. They recently did a thing called the Opera Cup. That's on DAZN now. MLW's weekly show Fusion, older episodes are on. It's still going to be on beIN Sport for the 5 people that have that channel. But yeah, a lot of MLW stuff is on DAZN now. They're doing
DAZN,
DAZN, DAZN.
Oh, okay.
Wasn't there a Pizzone pizza thing?
Yeah, it's from like Pizza Hut. It's like it's a calzone basically.
Yeah, Pizzone.
But they're basically going to have a deal for streaming rights. They might do live events on there once they're up and running again.
Yeah, maybe like their pay-per-view.
Yeah. So good for them. It's more exposure for them. And hopefully they're getting paid at least a little bit from it.
Yeah, because I'm assuming they're not making much, if anything, on YouTube.
Yeah. And DAZN is one of those things. It's mainly hardcore boxing fans because it's expensive. It's $19.99 a month.
Yeah.
Or you can get it for, I think, $99 a year.
Oh, if you buy the whole package.
Because like people are used to, they have, I think, Canelo Alvarez is on there. I know Golovkin, it was another famous boxer, is on there. Bellator MMA is on there. So people, like big boxing fans, are used to paying $50, $60 for a pay-per-view.
Yeah, they're like, oh, only 19.
Only $100 a year. That's less than 2 pay-per-views.
Yeah.
I bought 5 of them. So, but yeah, they're just doing that. In fact, and they have other stuff like internationally. They have NFL. They actually have Raw and SmackDown in Japan with Japanese commentary.
I would think I'd rather watch that.
Nothing like get NXT with Japanese commentary.
I was about to say NXT. Yeah, I think you're converting a lot of people.
Yeah,
I think we're joining your cult.
I feel bad because especially like it's not personal. Like I like
just not your style of commentary.
I like what Morrow has done as far as shining a light on mental illness and especially after the whole Hanakamura thing. Like I feel bad saying bad. Like I don't nothing I ever say bad about Morrow is anything personal. Just I don't like his commentary. Like
it's not your style.
Right.
You're an older school. You have an old school style.
He's a bit over the top a little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then what else we got?
We have Impact. They announced for their next pay-per-view in July, they're going to do a 5-way match for the Impact title. Tessa Blanchard will be back. I'm trying to find the other people here. I think I scrolled past
Trey Miguel,
Ace
Austin,
and
2 other people.
Eddie Edwards.
Yeah.
Eddie Edwards and Michael Elgin.
Okay, yeah.
And in a 5-way for the Impact title.
I think Ace Austin's getting the title.
Tessa's going to lose it already. And because she wouldn't do anything for 4 months. Yeah. I can understand the first month or 2, but like when everyone starts wrestling and like Seth Rollins is doing it, Kenny's doing it, like all your big stars are doing it, maybe you should do it.
Yeah.
Now if she couldn't leave, that'd be different.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think Ace Austin's getting that title.
He could.
Yeah. I think they're going to switch the belt though there.
I think Eddie might get it actually.
Yeah. That's a good way to get off Tessa.
Or Elgin, because they're teasing something like us Canadians are. He says, I think maybe they're going to do some kind of like thing with him and maybe Eric Young or somebody. They're teasing Heath Slater and Rhino might be a tag team again.
Yeah.
You see, Heath Slater's putting some muscle on.
He's got to.
Or is he just using the MySpace angles?
Maybe he's taking that gender Drew approach.
Oh God,
he's coming back. Super Brock.
I don't know if I don't know. Maybe they'll bring him back. I don't know. I don't think there's much interest.
You see Kurt Hawkins' new shirt too, by the way. He took the same shirt that he sold in WWE, where it looked like the Mets logo.
Yeah.
And instead of the losing streak, it said, "I'm not a loser. I just play it on TV," and it has all the checks.
Oh, that's kind of
funny. If you have a Mets logo, you're a loser.
But yeah. So, a little bit of news here. I'm not sure how much I can say about it, but I don't think it's like. So I guess there's going to be a conference or news coming out Monday when it comes to Athletic Commission, Pennsylvania, and possible wrestling events.
Oh, I didn't hear
interesting.
anything.
So kind of what I was told is they're going to find out more information on Monday, but it's all very tight-lipped.
Okay.
So maybe the future of local wrestling shows will have more information on Monday.
Probably. They might have real strict rules until all the restrictions are lifted.
Yeah, certain states are like it's going to be 50 people indoors or 100 people outdoors. I don't know what Pennsylvania's going to do.
Yeah. So a lot of them rules they should just basically say don't have shows yet.
Yeah.
Because it might
not cost effective.
Yeah.
If you can only have 50 people, like, are you really going to make your money up? And no one's going to pay $100 to see an indie show.
Yeah.
You know? So I don't know.
But speaking of coming back, New Japan is going to be back in less than a week now. It's going to be on the 15th. So that is
Monday morning? Yeah.
Monday, yeah. And then they're going to start the New Japan Cup on the next day, on Tuesday, the 16th. Some of the highlights, I think, personally, from the
heavyweights and
heavyweights and juniors. I think some of the ones I think are really cool here. We have the big one everybody's going to point to is going to be Kota and Zack Sabre Jr. Is an opening round match.
Shingo and Sonata, right? Or no, that's the second round if they both advance.
Taguchi and Sonata. That should be all right. Sho and Shingo, so they would be a second round match.
Okada Gato.
Okada Gato, yeah. Hanma and Tanahashi. That'll be fun. Yano and Jeno. The one that kind of stuck out to me is that they're going to have Yuji Nagata and Minoru Suzuki.
I know. I was like, how about that?
Just two old guys beating the hell out of each other.
And Kojima's wrestling
Evil.
Yeah, and then Tenzon's wrestling right above him. Sonata?
Trying to find him here.
Whoever he wins is Lou. He's wrestling.
Yoshihashi.
Yoshihashi will get that advance.
Well, they would have, Kojima and Tenzon would be a third round because it's
but I'm saying Tenzon's going to lose his first round match. Kojima might win, but probably
I don't think he's going to beat Evil.
Well, listen,
it depends.
In traditional tornado tag rule, usually I would tag somebody in at this point, but with tornado tag, we don't need a tag rope. We don't need any of that. So I'm going to bring in my. I'm going to step out here real
Jim
quick,
Ross loves tag ropes.
and I'm going to bring in our phone guest because we're talking New Japan Wrestling, and he knows more than I do. What's going on, man? Oh, I can't hear him. I didn't plug it in. Oh man, that was a terrible tag.
Tony, everybody knows more about New Japan than you do.
Yeah, everybody knows. Literally, are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, there he is.
It wasn't working at first.
We are reunited. Blue and Gold is back again. I think we're in trouble.
Here he is.
We're in trouble, Brian.
Yeah,
they're seasoned.
Here we is.
So, what do you think about this the new cup?
The New Japan Cup.
I'm excited. I know me and Heather were tossing some ideas around back and forth. Obviously, I'm super excited for Nagata and Suzuki.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be fun. Last year, I think they did Suzuki and Kojima in the first round. So you just have, that old guard just slapping the piss out of each other. I'm excited to see. I know me and Heather are both big fans of Kojima. I'm hoping Kojima can upset Evil, and then Goto gets the victory over Yujiro, because I would like to see Goto and Kojima go at it. I think that would be fun.
That would be a good one. That'd be strong style.
This tournament is going to be my New Japan birth. This is where I'm going to start.
Tons of good matches.
You're going to get a wide variety of people.
Yeah.
So and people have like Tanahashi and some of the people have had a chance to heal up probably more than they have in years.
Tanahashi probably this is the best for him because his arm.
I wouldn't be shocked if he's out of the first round just because he's been doing a lot of people over, and they're really big on Taichi. Yeah. I would not be shocked to see Tanahashi go out of the first round.
I could probably see that.
Oh, okay. I was reading wrong. Hiromo was wrestling Hanma in the first round.
So we both said that. Me and Matt Turner said that side one will end up Hiromo versus Okada.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, who's the guy? Once again, I don't know names. I don't know anything. But I know when you Matt brought up on the show about the guy with he was holding the magazine up of the other.
Oh, he's not in New Japan. He's in.
But is the guy that was holding the magazine up calling him out?
The guy
in the tournament?
No. This is all New Japan.
We think he's going to be in G1 is when they bring in other people.
Okay.
Now that tournament would be happening right now. But then they moved it to October.
But do you think the guy
Olympics?
who's not involved kind of does a run-in to set up a match?
Probably not in this.
They don't do that.
Yeah.
They really don't do that in New Japan.
Oh, okay.
But they'll say...
My WWE mind is kicking in.
They'll say, he will be in the... Like, the last year, they go, Kenta's in the G1. What?
Yeah.
Or they just announce
or he loses and they do one of those like Jericho where the light turns off and a promo gets
Sometimes they do that, yeah. So
usually they do it for Jericho.
Yeah.
Yeah.
However, Monday they're doing New Japan's having their first show in months, and it's a secret. They're not announcing any of the cards.
It's like the PWG Mystery Vortex show.
Yeah,
I was ready to say that. My man.
They're going to announce it.
Yeah, it's like the PWG Mystery Vortex.
Yeah, announce it when it starts. The guys going to come out and no fans for the first couple until July?
And that'll be on New Japan Network?
Yes. All these
New
shows will
Japan
be
World.
on. Yeah.
I might have to reinstate.
And
mine.
it's
Are
only
they-
999 yen, which
Are
is
they
like
doing?
799.
Have they
or something.
announced that they're doing English commentary? Because it's
They-
pretty hard to get Kevin
They
Kelly over there.
didn't, but I don't. They might have. They have WH
Like dub
Park
it.
or not WH Park. What's the little guy's name?
Oh, yeah,
Nerdy
Chris
little-
Charlton?
Yeah, Chris Charlton. So I might have him Rocky because I think Rocky's.
So
over there.
who are early predictions
Ospreay's
of
over
you
there. He
guys
lives there.
thinking
Yeah.
is going to win it all?
Sonata.
I think it's gonna be somebody on side B. Okada will be Okada.
Sonata.
Win side A. And then Sonata or who
Which
else did I
is
say?
Okada the eyeball guy?
No, that's Naito. He's the champ.
Okay.
He got the world title and the continental title, so the winner gets a shot at him.
Okada is the best wrestler in the world by
Okada's the one that
miles.
The blonde guy.
the
Best
pants.
wrestler in the
Pants,
world.
no
Yeah,
pants.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okada's the one that wrestled Marty.
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
It was a good match. Okay.
Okada's probably the best in the world right now.
And then who's the guy that you think is going to win?
So
Sonata,
Okada.
he's like their
Sonata.
yeah, he's like the hot upside that always
he-
he gets so close, he's in Naito's group.
He had spiky
Naito's
hair,
the double champion.
and now he
Yeah, and I
has
think
blonde,
this-
like poofy hair.
Is that the one that Kenny
show you a
teams
picture.
with?
No, that's Kota Ibushi.
Kota.
Kota
Yeah, it's
Ibushi.
Kota.
Now
Okay.
Kota Ibushi might give. I think it would be maybe Kota Ibushi versus Sonata in the finals of side B.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
Or
Well, no,
it's-
no, they're both in the same.
Oh,
like,
the bracket.
division. Yeah.
Then it has to be.
Yeah, they're
Yeah, I'm looking at that bracket at the bottom. Maybe Sonata Evil. Maybe Sonata.
That's what I'm thinking. Evil loses and they
Yeah.
spin him off somewhere because
Goto. Maybe
or
Sonata.
Sonata.
Goto.
that's
Goto.
that's what I said. I
Yeah.
said Sonata, Goto, and then Okada, Hiromu, Takahashi.
The Japan Cup always has upsets too.
And then
so there's
Sonata,
it's like the NCAA
Okada.
tournament of
Okay.
wrestling.
And this one is different because they're mixing weight classes?
Yeah, it's usually a heavyweight tournament, and because there was no Super Junior or Super J Cup this year because of everything shutting down, they just worked a lot of the juniors in there. So somebody like Hiromu Takahashi is the top junior, and he's in this with the heavyweights. He might go far because they see him.
Do you think it, do you,
That's Sonata. I don't know if you've ever seen him.
okay.
He used to have spiky hair. It was like a big mohawk.
I've never seen him, but his
Okay.
jacket's fantastic.
Yeah, he's like a space pirate.
when
kinda.
you get New Japan World, you have to watch his match with Okada from the G1 last year. It was phenomenal.
Okay. Do you think there's any chance a junior wins it?
Maybe
Maybe
they do.
Hiromu pulls
Maybe
off
Hiromu-
side
maybe
one?
Hiromu.
Yeah. Yeah, if it is, it's going to be Hiromu. I think it's the show and Yo aren't winning it. Bushi's not winning it.
Well, let's just kind of dive into this. Maybe I mean, if you don't know already, and you're banking on us to tell you, sorry, we're going to spoil something that when we get into the pay per view. Really big things happening right now, not just for Japanese culture and
I've
wrestling.
probably never seen this guy, but he's the junior heavyweight champion right now.
Okay, he has a crazy jacket
Yeah,
too.
yeah. Well, he's crazy. That's
Yeah.
his whole thing. The
Um,
ticking time bomb.
But just women in general, like we're always saying, like this is the women's revolution when it comes to wrestling. Like women are just doing big things. Like your world champion in Impact is a woman. Charlotte is teasing about going for a secondary title, on Raw
I can
or
see it.
SmackDown.
I can see it.
Like her winning the U.S.
The only
championship.
way,
or something.
the only reason I don't say it is I don't know if USA wants to have intergender matches on there.
Yeah, maybe not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do it on Fox.
yeah.
I don't think Fox wants any.
but then like even on an even crazier level is like 3 champions in one promotion and two different promotions but 3 different brands are all Japanese women. All Japanese female champions, which is it's got to
the
be
first
a
time.
first.
Yeah.
As far as but one of that part of that is and it's the gap is narrowing, but as far as modern wrestling where in-ring work, like quote unquote work rate, is more important than ever before, women have a big head start in Japan.
Yeah.
They have a 20-30 year head start going back to the 80s when you had people like Jaguar Yokota than women now. Like American women are catching up. There's some Charlotte Flair, amazing wrestler, but Japanese women have been training in that Japanese style for so long that they
They
have
start training when they're like 9 or
Yeah.
10.
I'm gonna be honest. Going into that pay-per-view, I 100% wanted Io to win. I just didn't think they were going to do it. I thought she was the fall.
well, some of us did.
Yeah, and you two did. You definitely nailed it. But yeah, so what I mean. So this is for me. I gotta not just for. I know that New Japan doesn't really focus on their women's at all, like women at
no.
all. But
There's no one on the
In
roster.
Japan, it's more of a thing where they'll have separate promotions for women. Like they're all men's promotions. The only one I can think of that really does a lot of back and forth is DDT.
Yeah.
and they're
Japan
mainly
used
a
to-
comedy promotion.
yeah, and they wrestle brooms.
They wrestle brooms. They had a thing very similar to Stadium Stampede, where it was an empty baseball stadium match at the Tokyo Dome.
And
Yeah.
apartment wrestling and stuff. They wrestled a garbage float.
Water parks, yeah.
Yeah. So what is our next news here?
The next news would be sad news. Mr. Wrestling 2 passed away this week.
Yeah.
Johnny Walker. And we were kind of talking off air. One thing I didn't even know until I saw it today.
Buckle up, people.
Yeah, very early in his life, when he was 19 years old, he was arrested for, along with, I think, 8 or 9 other people, for taking part in a 1953 gang rape of a 15-year-old Hawaiian girl.
Jesus.
And
were any other people wrestlers?
I don't think so. Okay. He wasn't either at this point. That was in 1953. Obviously, he didn't go to jail or face punishment for that long, because by 1955 he is wrestling. And at the very beginning of his career,
like probably like 18, 19 years old?
1955 he would have been 21.
20, okay.
And he
Back
wrestled
then you got in a little
2021.
later.
And he wrestled as Johnny Rubberman Walker. He wasn't Mr. Wrestling 2 until later. He was called Rubberman because he was very flexible, kind of almost double jointed, like, you know how Alexa Bliss can make her arm kind of go down. He had that, and he was more of an undercard guy, and even for a little while he became the grappler. He was one of the many grapplers. The most famous one, I think, is Len Denton would be the most famous one. But he did that, and then he was out of wrestling for a while. He ran a gas station in Tennessee, and Georgia Championship Wrestling people got together, and they decided they wanted to make him Mr. Wrestling 2. The original Mr. Wrestling, Tim Woods, was starting to phase down a little bit, and they brought him in as his partner. They feuded, and he wound up becoming one of the biggest stars in Georgia wrestling period. He was a 10-time NWA Georgia heavyweight champion. Jimmy Carter, the old president, he was Jimmy Carter's favorite wrestler.
Yeah, he asked him to come to the
inauguration when he got sworn in to be president.
But he said, "Yeah, you can't wear the mask." He said, "I can't do it without my mask." So he didn't go. How about that?
And he would hang out with Jimmy Carter's mother a lot. Back then, everybody's mother or grandmother was a big wrestling fan. And that's how people got into it. And Jimmy Carter's mother was a huge wrestling fan, and that was her favorite.
So I tried to go back and watch WCW. Like I want to get back. I want to tune into WCW. So I went on the network and I went to WCW, and the first Nitro that's on there,
like 93,
like
95.
Lex Luger's already there.
That was he was literally on SummerSlam a few nights before that, but he was working without a contract.
So when did he make
the first Nitro?
That was his return.
Did you watch the first Nitro? They're in the mall?
No, see, the first Nitro isn't in a mall.
Yes,
the first
it is.
Nitro,
Yes, it is.
not on the network.
Yes, it is.
It should be.
I went all the way back.
You went to the wrong. You have to go by year.
I did. I went all the way
Really?
to the first year.
It's there.
And the first Nitro is Lex Luger comes down with a manager, a valet, and I believe Dean Malenko is the picture art of the episode.
Oh, that's not the first Nitro.
So I don't know if they took
maybe
older
it's not on
episodes
there.
off.
Dean Malenko was still in ECW when the first Nitro happened.
I don't know if I can pull up on my phone.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. I'll
That's
pull it up.
'cause the classic thing is he comes out with the big poofy shirt.
Yeah, so I thought maybe he did it on a pay-per-view. And
No.
then,
That was Nitro.
Yeah.
That
Because
the
it was a
big
shock.
thing.
Like,
Yeah.
he was literally on SummerSlam,
And you
like,
had-
right before that.
What the first match is Brian Pillman versus Jushin Liger, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Pillman and
that,
Liger.
that definitely wasn't the first
I think I
match.
remember that whole card. There was, like,
Alex Wright
Sting
was
and
on.
Flair was there, too.
Yeah.
Hogan and Big Bubba, I think, wrestled.
That's the main event.
Yeah.
The
That was the main, yeah.
second Nitro had Sabu.
The funny,
Yeah,
the
and
funny
Mr.
thing
JL,
is
right?
you
Yeah.
actually have to go to in-ring and find it that way.
Yeah,
because
the new network design is awful.
Yeah, I don't like it.
They don't have a tab for WCW.
I think when you open it, it should be like
There was nothing wrong with the old layout.
WWE, and then it should be like WCW, all the other ones. Then just
Yeah.
click on that, and then like, would you like their pay-per-views or their weekly shows?
Yeah. The here it is. WCW Nitro, right? I go to Nitro, and then I
There's
go.
the poofy shirt right there.
Why did I do that?
That's the first Nitro.
You must have hit the wrong one by mistake.
Hold on. I went to 1995,
Uh-huh.
and then it says the first one here is December 25th, 1995.
It's in descending order. If you scroll down
I
there,
have to go down.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I
Oh,
did.
you
That's what I
started
did
at the
wrong.
top?
That's what I did
Oh,
wrong.
okay.
Who you would think that
you would think they would do it the other way.
No,
but-
yeah, because
All right,
it used to
the
be when
layout
it
stinks.
was sideways, it would start on the last one. You'd have to go all the way to the right to get the first one.
So my wish list for the network, I wish if I clicked on Nitro, it would play Nitro.
Would you like to watch Nitro from the beginning?
And then say like, hey, this is the pay-per-view now. This is where you should.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Here's the Clash Champions.
All right. So then, so that frustrated me because I knew I was missing stuff, so I had to stop watching it. And then I went to WCW pay-per-views.
Nitro started to get good around the end of that, though, because that's when you
Yeah.
had the Flair Savage feud.
Yeah. wasn't
bad.
Around the end of 95 is when it started to get really good.
So then I went to pay-per-views, and I went back to '83, and the very first WCW pay-per-views was Starrcade '83.
It wasn't WCW
Yeah.
yet, but yeah.
And I got 2 matches in, and whoever was doing commentary
Was it
Bob
Gordon
Caudle,
Solly?
probably Bob Caudle.
Bob Caudle, yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, fans.
He didn't
Wrestling
even-
fans, we're going to have a
Didn't
great
even
show.
know half the guys' names in the ring, and the very terrible pacing.
I like Bob Caudle.
I like
oh
Bob
my
Caudle,
God.
too.
It was rough. It was rough to watch. I had to turn it off.
I think most of the undercard for that is not good.
Yes. Piper Greg Valentine.
Yeah,
is
that's
quite
a
good.
great one.
That
I
is quite good.
I think that and the main event and everything else you can skip.
Wasn't
Yeah.
there like the Briscoes
Well, no,
against
that's-
Ricky Steamboat and Jay Youngblood too?
Was that on there?
Yeah, that was excellent.
It was
Yep,
two.
that
It was two
excellent.
masked guys versus a white dude who had the worst ring gear of all time, and a black dude who had the
I'm gonna-
saggiest red trunks.
Now I have to look up
Sam
Starrcade.
Houston? Like, just,
Not
yeah,
not
get
in
the card.
'83.
Get the card,
Starrcade
yeah.
'83.
I haven't seen it in quite a while. But that you watch Roddy Piper versus Greg Valentine's the chain match. It's really good.
Caudle and Sully were the announcers.
Now it was gone and saw me. Did you see a picture of him? He looks like an old pervert.
Okay. First match was the Assassins
Oh, there you go.
Oh, it was horrible.
against Rufus R. Jones.
Oh, my.
And Bugsy McGraw.
Well,
Yeah, not the best
Yeah.
wrestlers there. Second match was Kevin Sullivan and Mark Lewin with Gary Hart
okay.
against Scott McGee and Johnny Weaver.
I think you can skip that one.
Abdullah the Butcher against Carlos Colon.
I did not get to Abdul
skip
Butcher.
that one,
I did
too.
not make it that far.
And then you had Mark Youngblood and Wahoo McDaniel against Bob Orton Jr. and Dick Slater.
That one might be all right.
That was actually pretty good. I remember that.
Title versus mask match, you had the Great Kabuki, the TV champion, against Charlie Brown from out of town. Not a good wrestler. that is the Boogie Woogie Man, Jimmy Valiant.
I would watch that for comedic value.
Yeah, this is.
Remember
this
when Mr. Wrestling 2 was training Magnum? Remember that? He was
Those
teaching him
are
the
the
knee lift?
assassins there.
Look
This
how
is-
terrible.
This is great for an audio podcast.
Oh, his
Look-
gear does look awful. It looks like
That's
it's tights, but it's like flesh colored
that's
tights.
Bugsy McGraw.
There's what's his name, Len Denton,
Paul-
right?
That's Paul Jones out there.
No.
Oh,
That's the assassin.
yeah, the
That's- or
assassins.
the
That's,
destroyer.
so
no,
people-
one of the assassins is Nick Patrick's dad.
so
It's,
we're actually watching Star. This should be a fun.
Oh,
podcast.
apparently these assassins. It's Jody Hamilton, who was
Oh,
mainly
yeah, Jody Hamilton. Yeah,
Nick Patrick's
whose
dad is the
masks
main-
always look too tight.
And the other one, the in shape assassin. I didn't know this. I'm just looking at Wikipedia. Is apparently Hercules.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah,
didn't know that.
according to
Yeah.
this, Wikipedia could be wrong. So I was like, I know Tom
No.
Renesto was usually the other assassin.
Look how terrible that ring gear is.
It's Bugsy McGraw in there right now.
Bugsy McGraw sucks. We should do a watch along sometime.
We
or
should.
something.
We
Yeah.
should. We should put a pay per view. I mean, we can't let people see what we're watching.
We can do just yell timestamps every now and then.
Yeah,
too.
that's what Conrad
but yeah,
does.
what you need to do for this, Tony, for this show, just watch the last three matches. Watch Roddy Piper and Greg Valentine dog collar match.
That's very good.
Steamboat and Jay Youngblood against the Briscoes.
Wait till the I hate to say like the black gentleman,
and
but
Flair
like
and Harley. That's Rufus R. Jones. He's
Wait till Ruf-
legendarily bad.
wait till Rufus comes in. His trunks are so saggy, it looks like he's a shit in his pants. We'll let that play in the background. Where are we at?
No, we're just going over, just talking about Mr. Wrestling 2, who he wasn't really a, well, he was NWA, but he was Georgia. This was more Jim Crockett, Mid-Atlantic.
By the time he was NWA, he wasn't really wrestling that much.
Yeah, and he actually went to WWF for a little bit. He didn't wrestle a lot there, but he was part of the whole team that sold Georgia out from under Ole Anderson. It was him, it was the Briscoes, and he passed today at the age of 85.
But most fans probably remember him in the ROH run if you're watching with Steve Corino. And Steve Corino was Mr. Wrestling 3. And, and he came back for one match.
Nikita Koloff was also Mr. Wrestling
Yeah,
3.
I thought Steve Corino was so good then. He's just hilarious.
Mr. Wrestling 2, his last official match was in. Look at these punches. Look at these punches.
And look at
Oh my goodness.
and Paul Jones. He's like a white junkyard dog.
He is.
He's doing the thing.
It's so weird that Dave Meltzer will always talk about Bugsy McGraw when he's talking about Bray Wyatt. Is that Hercules? He's in really good shape, whoever that guy is. He would always talk about Bray Wyatt when he talked about Bugsy McGraw, because Bugsy would be in a territory for 6 months. People would get sick of him and he would go somewhere else. And but I mean, that's the whole Mr. Wrestling 2 thing. He did wrestle in like 2007, I think, or even might have even been 2017 as Mr. No, it was 2007. He was in the 70s. He wrestled like one match with a protege who was the new Mr. Wrestling 3. And then he retired.
Are you like working on a tool bench over there? What's going on, Matt?
What's up? What am I doing?
So I don't sound like you're hammering nails into a board.
No, I was just turning some fans on.
Look how saggy his trunks are.
Oh, they ordered hanging down. And
Look at him.
How, How can you guys see my trunks?
Yeah, this guy got some charisma. We're watching Rufus Jones here.
Rufus R. Jones.
Oh my God!
Oh, he almost broke his leg right
Jesus.
there.
Oh, I'm gonna stop watching.
Look at the camera.
Shaky
The camera just left. It just left the show.
Yeah, maybe watch Starcade like '87.
All right.
Yeah.
Listen, I tried.
Which one was 87? Was that the Sky? No, 86 was the Sky.
No, I wanted to watch
87
Tully
was-
versus Magnum in the cage match.
Okay.
The weapons cage match.
This is where I started. This is
No,
where
I quit cage match.
I turned it on. I was like, "What?" The
You
F?
can skip the first. No, the last 3 matches of the show are amazing. But you can
Yeah.
skip the first couple Starcade.
So next piece of news.
That was mainly it for the news.
We were going to do a topic, but we went really long on
I'm
everything
excited
else.
about New Japan coming back.
But-
fine.
Elias is going to be out for a while. He has a
Yeah.
torn pec. I'm just kind of scrolling through the page
And
here.
the 5th year anniversary of the passing of Dusty.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up during
AEW.
AEW. But yeah,
Oh,
Dusty,
sorry about that.
Dusty passed 5 years ago today, and he's obviously people all over wrestling have been shouting out.
A huge influence of the business.
A huge influence here. This is Starcade '83 is around the time he left Florida for Crockett, and this is I think around the time he started booking too.
So he's booking the show.
Yeah, he booked Starcade. Starcade was his idea.
Yeah, the whole.
Is this the
concept.
first Starcade?
This is the first Starcade, yeah.
Yep.
I do like the simple NWA just in the ring. I think it's
Yeah.
very simple.
That's why I like when NWA now brought that back.
Yeah, just a very simple look.
And then Starcade '84 and '85, the main event for both was Dusty and Ric Flair. '84, the whole idea was it was going to be for $1 million.
Could you imagine? Sorry to cut you off, but could you imagine if you could find that patch that's on that referee's shirt? It's a huge circular patch.
Tommy Young might still have that shirt.
Tommy Young.
I bet he does.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, I can't see the details of the patch, but it's huge. It's right over the heart.
It's probably like an NWA. Oh no, it's a Jim Crockett thing, probably JCP.
Yeah, Jim Crockett
Yeah, or maybe it
Promotions
says
as well.
both.
Yeah, it's pretty.
And this masked guy in the ring now, Tony, his dad became the senior official for WCW for pretty much all of its existence, except for when he was the evil NWO referee. His son is Nick Patrick.
Okay.
He was a ref in WWE for a while, too.
He looks like the guy from the Adam Sandler movies.
Yeah, his mask is too tight.
Yeah,
It's like squeezing the rest of his
Yeah.
face out of it. Like he can't see.
And, that's Jody Hamilton. He ran one of the old WWE territories, like developmental
This
things.
could be our new gimmick. We're gonna put a pay-per-view on and talk and try to and just keep.
It works for Conrad.
Yeah, he ran Deep South Wrestling for a little bit.
Oh, you can't punch him in the head. His head's too hard.
Well, back then, that was what they did with, they did it later with Samoan wrestlers, but back then, there was a whole thing where black wrestlers had a hard head.
Oh,
Like, I'm not joking. That's what they
and,
used to do.
and then it went to Samoans.
Okay.
And I'm like,
So, yeah, that's Starcade '83.
what was that?
all right.
There's a lot of dancing going on.
Let's get on.
Let's talk about some more modern shows here.
Let's get into In Your House.
In Your House. NXT TakeOver.
To start In Your House.
Todd Pettengill.
Yeah,
was
just
great.
full nostalgia.
That was great.
Full nostalgia. They really dove for it. They really went for it. And then the camera cuts to the ring. A lot of people said they wish they would have had the red, white, and blue ropes.
Yeah.
They should. That would have been cool.
But
I
then-
didn't think of that.
Then they show the stage, and it's gorgeous.
They have a house.
Yeah.
There's legit. They did a set, which is
That's a little different, but hey, it was a house.
Yeah,
That's all we
there
wanted.
was there was props on a stage. Please
Yeah.
bring that back. It was fucking awesome.
Yeah, different stages make the world of difference.
Yes. It was nice to see it again.
Yeah.
And they've had like a green carpet for like a lawn.
Yeah, it was awesome.
The best, like Halloween Havoc with the tombstones. They have old wrestlers' names on them.
Yes, I want all that back. I want like AEW does a very good job with that, with the big casino chips and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, give us sets again. Don't
Yeah,
just stick
make everything
45
feel
ladders
distinct.
out there. Like
Yeah, here you go.
TLC, let's put a bunch of ladders. That's our props.
What are they going to do if, like, Hell in a Cell, they're still in the is that cell going to fit the performance center?
They have a smaller cell.
They're like,
smaller Hell
we're
in
gonna
a Cell.
Hell in a Cell on the roof.
No, that's like December. What is that? Like, no, October? It's after SummerSlam.
Yeah, it's like their
They're
Halloween.
planning
pay-per-view.
on having a crowd for SummerSlam, I believe.
Yes, I think by October it'll probably be good.
I like how everybody at this time was punch, 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 elbow.
There
like
wasn't-
the right, left, and then elbow
There
to the top
wasn't
of the head.
many moves, especially if you're that gentleman right there.
Why is this guy punching with both hands at the same time?
He's a madman.
Look at his shoes. by
Look
the
at
way.
his dick.
Oh God, I don't really
You
want
just-
to.
If you want that, you need to watch Starcade '86.
You can see his whole button. Look at wait. You can see his whole situation.
I don't know if they've edited it out. I know before it was not edited out, but in Starcade '86, the main event is Ric Flair and Nikita Koloff. I think it was '86.
Oh, that's when Tommy Young goes over and
Yeah, I think it was
touches his
'86.
dick.
no, he puts it back in
Yeah,
for him.
Ric Flair
Well,
goes.
yeah, I guess he does touch it.
Ric Flair goes for a suplex, and he pulls Nikita's singlet, and when they land, Nikita's Russian sickle is hanging out.
Yeah.
And Tommy Young just swoops in and covers it up.
You wouldn't even notice. I mean, he's like, whoop. And it's like, what?
That's
It's
a
like,
good friend.
Yeah, it was a great job.
Well,
Like-
what would you do?
I
Would-
never
would-
noticed that.
Yeah, it's very hard to notice.
Would
but-
you do that for an opponent?
I don't know. I'd probably like, oh, hey.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, they always said that Tommy Young was gay, but he said he never acted on it.
Oh,
So he
okay.
wasn't. But he was.
That's a shame. He couldn't be himself.
Yeah, but who knows? I don't. That's what I think Keenan said about him.
Yeah. All right.
I believe Bob Caudle is still alive, actually. Or
Yeah,
may-
he is.
Is it this guy here?
No,
That's
that's
Gordon
Gordon Sully. Doesn't he look like an old pervert? Nothing gets. People call him the greatest commentary.
Oh, Sully?
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
Wrestling
I
fans.
had Jim Ross and then Solar.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think he just
He's
looks.
number 2.
He was one of the last guys to call a suplex a souple.
Yeah,
Which is how it
Souffle.
used to be pronounced.
he
yeah.
doesn't he look like he would have children in his basement. Like,
Yeah.
I like Bob Caudle.
Like he drives a white van.
Yeah.
All right.
So anyway, in your house.
In your house.
In your house,
This is probably
NXT
a ter-
TakeOver.
Probably a terrible idea to have this pay-per-view play.
Yeah.
Turn it off.
NXT TakeOver in your house started with a Todd Pettengill, as we said, and then we had a 6-woman tag match for our opener. It was Mia Yim, Shotzi Blackheart, and Tegan Nox defeating Candice LeRae, Dakota Kai, and Raquel Gonzalez.
Didn't blow you away, but it was not. It
It was a fun opener.
Yeah.
All right. Here's the thing. Usually NXTs blow you away. Like they're like
Takeovers.
Takeovers
This
are
takeover
insane.
was the most okay of the
Yeah,
takeovers.
It felt like a TV show with a set.
Yeah, maybe because there's no fans.
Like
It
this-
was to
Well,
regular
I mean, it
NXT
was,
takeovers what In Your House was to old wrestling pay.
yeah,
yeah.
It was like a
It
lesser
was good, but there
pay-per-view.
was something missing.
Yeah. I didn't hate it at
No,
all.
no.
It was a great pay-per-view, but it wasn't.
I think it was missing that one blow-away match that every takeover has.
Yeah. But real quick though, you know what I did like about watching that Starrcade? The crowd was fucking awesome.
Oh, the crowd back then, everything they did, they're like,
Even 1995, which was seen as one of the worst years ever for wrestling, before In Your House and a little bit after In Your House on Sunday, because we all got together to watch it. We were watching In Your House 2 from 1995.
Mullets everywhere.
Yeah,
Mullets, well, it's Tennessee in 1995,
Yeah.
of course it was.
I'm tensing right now.
But that crowd was hyped for everything.
They were.
What did you think of Jeff Jarrett? He's pretty good.
Yeah.
I think he's a good singer.
Oh, when they'd ask, do you have all his albums? Yes, I do.
I'd buy his album. I think he's a pretty good singer, that Jeff Jarrett.
And then this is when 123 Kid, X-Pac, is having neck issues. And of course, the finish of his match is he takes a pile driver up the second rope.
And Road Dogg put his
But it was
leg.
like the opener.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
It was the opener, wasn't
and
it?
the roadie put his leg down to catch himself. Like you almost snapped your leg.
He almost pulled a Sid, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, the 6-woman tag.
Yeah, fun match. Kind of maybe a payoff for the Dakota Kai Tegan Nox feud. Tegan finally got the
Yeah.
one up on her, getting the pin.
Yeah. And was there any special ring gear in that one?
No,
One thing that did happen, Dakota
they
Kai
all look
did
like
have
that new gear.
Yeah.
Dakota Kai did have pink hair that was a tribute to Hana Kimura.
Yeah, which I didn't notice until picture. I'm like, well, it's kind of pinkish.
Yeah.
Like,
right. Yeah, it wasn't
but-
full blown.
no, the match was good. I
Yeah.
liked it. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was fun. It was very fun. Then the next match, I was pleasantly surprised by this one. Finn Balor beat Damian Priest. And I know how good Finn Balor is, but Damian Priest held his own, I thought. I thought it was,
I've been telling you guys this.
It was a good
Nobody
match.
wants to Listen to me.
But it did not catch me. Like the whole time I'm watching, I'm like, eh. Like I just wasn't engaged
Really?
like I
I
thought I
enjoyed
would.
it.
Well, I mean, there wasn't much story, but a little bit.
I didn't hate the match,
Yeah.
but it just didn't grab me.
I don't like his beefcake pants though.
Oh yeah,
I don't know what's going
You
on.
want to talk about?
I don't know what was going on with those
You want to talk
pants.
about a saggy butt? Damian Priest had a saggy butt in
Yeah,
his
yeah, it did. Yeah, it did.
He looked like the dude in Starrcade '83.
he had beefcake pants, but he is not the booty man.
No, it wasn't the booty.
Yeah.
man. But the match was pretty good. It was
His-
probably the second best match.
His pants
I
were
thought.
so saggy. Both women that were in the room that were watching were like, "He has no butt."
Yeah, this is true.
And but man, oof, that back
Oh.
bump on the steps.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
back bump on the steps.
Yeah,
did
from
not
the
look
ring
fun.
apron to the metal steps outside, and then
Did you
threw
take that
him back
bump?
in. I don't know. Yeah, that's a.
The first thing I thought of, and obviously it wasn't as bad because there's nobody landing on him, was the bump that ended Rick Rude's career because he kind of landed like it was on a stage, and Sting was like on him.
Yeah.
But it was like ooh.
I'll tell you what, he tucked his chin perfectly because if he wouldn't have, where he hit high in his shoulders, his head would have snapped back and it would have been bad news.
I mean, that's.
It looked like it sucked.
Yeah.
But I think he's okay. Like
Yeah, I didn't hear anything.
The
so.
only person that you heard about being roughed up after this was Gargano. Gargano was a little sore.
Yeah.
Not too sore because didn't he wrestle on Wednesday? I don't remember now.
Yep.
Yeah.
But Finn wins with the
coup de grace. Yep.
Yeah.
And then we have the U.S. title match. And before we even go into this, we have Johnny Gargano in the set, in the house, and in your house.
Well, the North American title.
For the North America.
Yeah, you said U.S.
Oh,
Well.
the recap I'm reading said U.S.
Oh,
My mistake.
that's all right.
North
That's all right.
American title.
same thing.
Blame the Wrestling Observer newsletter. Their recapper got it wrong. It's like I posted in the chat.
Fired.
It's like in the chat I posted this old flyer, and it had an Intercontinental match for the international title.
Yeah.
Between Tito and Macho Man. But yeah, he's in the Gargano's in the set. There's a frame picture of Doc Hendricks. And there apparently Triple H wanted Michael Hayes to cut his hair and get the mustache back and be Doc Hendricks, but Michael Hayes didn't bite.
They should just put his hair in a ponytail.
I think they wanted
You know?
just an excuse to try to get him to cut his hair.
Probably,
for
yeah.
shits
I
and
mean, the guy
giggles.
don't have much hair left.
And he
Let him
came
go.
out through the door.
He came out the door with a key. The key is very important. That's
He used the key before in NXT.
Yeah,
and
he
the show before this. He hit Keith Lee in the eye with a key. Because I guess like he can't really work over him that much, so he worked the eye
it makes
basically.
sense.
And he wore Mandalorian gear.
That's what it looked like. Ant-Man. That's what I thought.
It was supposed to be Mandalorian. And then Keith Lee wore Black Lives Matters gear.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I forget what I heard. Maybe it was one of us. Is like, yeah, as soon as I saw it, yeah, he's winning.
Yeah. You're not going to go out wearing that.
I thought Keith Lee would win. Anyway.
Yeah, I thought he was going to win
Yeah.
anyway. It's a little too early to take the title off him, I think.
And they did the plexiglass spot that we were kind of asking for since the day.
Give him the pounce right into the.
Yeah, went through the plexiglass, and then we had a Ring doorbell camera where he was beating him up on the on the front
They did
porch.
some fun little things. I thought this match was kind of slow to start, but they built. It was
Yeah.
like almost like
I
a New
thought maybe-
Japan match.
Maybe a little
where they-
long.
Yeah,
a little bit.
It took a while to
long-winded.
get going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But and there was some interference. Candice LeRae, Mia Yim come out and get involved.
Candice LeRae came out in the biggest jogging pants and boots that didn't look like they fit her.
I mean, Mia.
Mia did,
yeah.
yeah.
And then
You know who she looks like? She looks like your girlfriend in Saints Row 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
like
Okay.
Yeah, Mia Yim looks like she should be in Saints Row
Yeah.
3. I agree.
just over the top ghetto. Like,
she could be Sean Diaz or
yeah,
something like that.
Sean D.
But yeah, then there's the key punch again. So he goes for the eye again, but it doesn't work. That was the big false finish there. And finally, Keith Lee hits the Spirit Bomb, hits another bomb, Big Bang Catastrophe, and thank you for playing Johnny Gargano.
Yeah. It was a good match. Like, it took a little bit to get going, but it was fun.
Yeah, enjoyed it.
And then we had the Backlot Brawl for the NXT title. Adam Cole defeating Velveteen Dream.
You know what? Kind of a stinker.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan.
Not a great match.
Yeah, I think out of the cinematic matches, this would be near the bottom, if not the bottom. It
Yeah.
wasn't like the match. I think they should just had a regular match.
I think it would have been better as
Yeah.
just a match.
The only thing is, has anyone found?
Yeah, they were on NXT.
So they're
Oh,
not
they were
dead.
next- they're not
Not
dead.
dead. All
I
right.
thought they would be
Yeah,
dead.
so Dexter Loomis to get involved, and he apparently abducted, and I thought we had thought at the time murdered
Yeah.
Roddy Strong and Bobby Fish. Kyle O'Reilly was wise enough to stay away.
Yeah.
He hasn't been around a whole lot. And yeah, so there was more cosplaying here. Negan.
Yeah, but the
Velveteen
Dream.
Dream was Negan from The Walking Dead.
Adam
And-
Cole was Adam Cole.
Adam Cole was
came in
Adam
a
Cole.
monster truck.
Yeah, Adam Cole was the Giant from the
Yeah.
Halloween Havoc
What if we would
1995.
have drove the giant monster truck out? Or the Goldberg monster truck.
You got a Matt Turner pop there, Brian.
That was great.
Gonna throw him off the roof of Cobo Hall.
Well, would you rather be stuck in a trunk and Dexter Loomis is the one doing it, or would you rather be thrown off Titan Tower roof?
If we've learned anything in wrestling, being thrown off a roof is not a big deal.
Yeah, I'd
Come
It's
back.
not a big
Everyone
deal.
comes back.
I'd go for the
3
roof.
people went off the roof, and then 3 people were fine.
And then throughout this show, they did have little like throwback things. There was one. It was a very much a remake of the old Bret Hart ad from the '90s
With Adam Cole.
walking through the WWE gym in Titan Tower with his NXT title over his shoulder, talking about Ico Pro.
It'd be funny if someone would be like, Adam, go get him, champ. Like he gives him like a wristband or
or
something.
just super kicks the
Yeah,
kid.
that'd be awesome if he's that guy.
the kid down the hallway. One of my favorite Ico Pro stories is in one of Heenan's books. He talked about Mr. Perfect, and one of his sons, I don't know if it was Curtis Axel or not, he was trying to beef up one of his sons for a football game, and he gave him Ico Pro, and the kid couldn't stop going to the bathroom for 4 weeks.
They said Ico Pro tasted terrible. It's
Really?
like a supplement.
And then we
mixed.
had
It was an integrated conditioning program.
where Shawn Michaels, as a joke, used to in the old promos where you could live chat right
Yeah.
now, and they redid the live
Yeah.
chat with Shawn, Triple H, and Road Dogg, and
The
none of them
AOL
could
chat.
see the screen, and it was an old actual screen,
Yeah.
and they're trying to type and they're banging on it.
I seen a funny meme. It's like when your buddies are trying to find out she's actually 20 for you.
Marty
Marty
Jannetty,
Jannetty, yeah.
Todd Pengill tried to plug a 900 number, but like they don't exist anymore.
That was good.
That was fun, yeah. And then the next match, Karrion Kross defeats Tommaso Ciampa.
let's talk about this.
It's all right, but I mean, I don't think it was ever designed to be a blowaway match. It's supposed to be more of a
It was a showcase
of a
of
job
Cross.
match. Yeah.
Did Karrion Kross come off to you as a killer of worlds?
No.
No,
and,
he-
he looks like a nice guy. That's why I said he
Ciampa
needs
gave him
face
too
paint or
much.
something.
Not that Ciampa did it wrong. I think that's the way they laid it out. I think
Ciampa looked as big, if not bigger, than him.
Well, I mean, Cross is taller,
yeah.
It didn't look by much though.
but like, I guess if you want him to be an unstoppable killer, he should have went in there and decimated him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When it was kind of more, I don't know, more even. I
Like
guess
if
you
you-
could
But
say?
apparently, this reviewer said Cross truly came across as a monster. So I guess it's up to your perspective.
Not to me.
If you're like
And that finisher sucks.
so if you were a wrestler, right? Like, well, you are a
If
wrestler.
I was,
If you were a wrestler, Andy,
yeah.
Henry,
If you were, if
imagine
Yeah.
if you.
I wonder what that's
you're
like.
booked now. Let's get in the mindset of wrestling.
Okay.
Right? You're going in. Maybe you're like a jobber. Right?
Okay.
You're gonna go into a show and you know, like, it's like you're going into a gladiator pit and you're fighting a lion, and they're like, you're fighting Keith Lee or you're fighting Karrion Kross.
okay.
Who you going?
Keith Lee, because I think he's a better wrestler, but I haven't really seen much of.
I'm just saying that as
Cross.
like an intimidation fear factor or a monster or a killer.
Oh, I think Keith Lee would be more scary looking. I don't know.
I would 100% like I would fight Karrion Kross because I feel like I have a better chance.
Yeah.
One thing
I
did.
disagree. I think he's in better shape. The tattoos, the facials. Keith Lee looks like a good guy, and he's very soft spoken, like his voice.
Yeah.
Can probably like put you to sleep. But like as far as like just looking at the two of them, I would fight Keith Lee first every day of the week, hands down. Karrion Kross he looks more physically imposing, hands down, not even close.
So I think he has a nice face. Like his face looks like a good guy. Though.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't.
I
Look
think his
evil.
facials are good though. Like he has a good
Yeah.
intense stare.
I think what has me hung up right now is I guess because we're doing like the Wednesday versus Wednesday, and they bring in
Lance Archer.
Lance Archer at the same time they're trying to build up a Karrion Kross, and then I see them side by side, and I'm like, Lance Archer looks like a monster. He looks
Yeah,
like he can.
Karrion
Hey,
like,
he's super tall. He's
yeah, like he would hurt you. Like
And
I just don't get the same.
I think
thing
his
from Karrion
presence
Kross.
is more, but he's been wrestling for way
I
longer.
thought you were going to say Brian Cage. I was say, well, Tony, WWE drug tests.
Yeah.
yeah.
But the one thing I did like about Cross on the more positive side is I do like that they're letting him use more of the grappling and the suplexes
Yeah.
and things like that.
Yeah.
I didn't watch him in Impact a lot. Most of the Killer Cross stuff I saw was Bloodsport.
Okay.
And he had a really good match with Davey Boy Jr. on the one before WrestleMania in 2019. And then they were really trying to put the rocket on him. He submitted Nick Gage at the last Bloodsport.
Wow.
And they were both really good.
Then he called up Batista.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Now, did we have another?
He called
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Matt. Did we have?
no,
another...
just saying he called up Batista afterwards.
Yeah. Did we have another cosplay in this match?
That's it. I know.
Did Scarlett rock
A disco
God of
ball?
I
No.
She had the scar over her eye.
Oh, that's just
Kratos,
Yeah, but her
Like the Kratos?
outfit was that's stretching.
Yeah.
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 I don't know. I tried.
The outfit was.
Because he's like
Nothing.
war and end of days and
Yeah, but that's stretching.
I don't think so.
Now if she was white.
I was trying to figure out what she was.
I think she
Yeah,
was
well,
just.
she would have had.
I'm sticking with
the
Disco
Kratos
Ball.
Thing. I was thinking she was something from the X-Men. That's why I wanted to bring up the header, because if she was Kratos, it's a red stripe. She had a black stripe. So I'm trying to think if she was someone from the X-Men or X-Force.
yeah. I'm not sure.
I don't know. I think she's just doing her own thing. I don't think there was anyone
Yeah.
specifically, but I don't know.
Next match.
Up next was our main event. For the NXT Women's title, Io Shirai defeats Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley by pinning Ripley to win the NXT Women's
I
Championship.
thought this was best match of the show.
I thought this was the
Best match of the show. A little like I hope I wasn't ruining it for everyone watching, but I was kind of calling spots before they were happening. Like, oh, she's jumping off the roof. Oh, she's gonna. Oh, this figure eight
Once
is
you
gonna
see
turn
it, yeah,
into
when they threw
Yeah,
it
you
in,
could kinda see where it's going.
Yeah. But it was done very well. Like, Io's a psychopath, man. Like, she will jump off anything.
And I'm glad to hear Rhea Ripley's okay, because that moonsault at the end
Yeah, it
looked-
looked like she knees to the face.
Yeah.
Like, oh
It
boy.
looked like she crushed her.
Might
Good
have just been the camera angle.
Good
Yeah.
for Io, man. I'm donning my Io shirt tonight.
There you go.
I'm very happy for her. I hope this means she stays. It would suck if we lost her.
Yeah, I don't know when her contract's up, but I know Stardom's really, now that Nakamura passed
Yeah.
away, they're really going to go after her hard.
And Kyrie.
Yeah, I think Kyrie's
definitely-
Kyrie's
Yeah.
definitely out of there. I mean, putting the title on Io, maybe she's like, cool, you gave it to me, I'm still out of here, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, you never know.
Maybe Bushiro's like, look, Evil's going to win the New Japan Cup.
Yeah.
Yeah, very, very happy. Like I said, I didn't think it was going to happen, but they did it, which is cool. Realistically, though, anyone who won that title at that point in time, I wouldn't care. I know people are sick of seeing Charlotte. I know there's a lot of people saying they're mad that Charlotte's on everything.
I'd be not mad if she kept it.
Yeah.
If she would have defended it. She looked great. She looked so hot, and that outfit was awesome, and that robe was awesome.
I think someone said the real winner of this match was Charlotte's boobs.
Yeah, I seen that, and I was like,
Yeah. Yeah, she...
I did not like Rhea's one white boot. The
one white boot, one white eye.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Yeah, it was like a cross.
I'm okay with the one white eye.
Thing, yeah.
If you're a Kane fan.
Yeah.
But the match was really good.
Really good match. I'm happy. I'm excited to see. Now, do you think Io is going to be a long-term champ for like a year? Do you think she keeps it long?
I don't know about a year, but
usually the NXT women's champs. I mean, besides I think Charlotte's like one of the lowest reigning ones, right?
Rhea,
yeah.
Well, no,
Rhea. Yeah, Rhea
just,
only had it like.
They either go a long time or they're just kind of flip floppy. Like the long ones were like Asuka and Asuka and Shayna really were the long ones.
I give her about. Let's say take the contract thing. Let's say
6
that's not
months.
happening. Yeah, I would say 6 months. Maybe maybe 5.
Okay.
Maybe she loses it around like Survivor Series.
Yeah.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah.
I don't know
Okay.
who she would lose. Rhea, I guess.
Rhea,
unless they
Rhea,
send somebody
yeah.
else back down.
Okay.
Because none of the other girls are quite ready yet. I mean, not Candice. Maybe Mia.
Tegan?
Yeah,
Tegan,
maybe. Yeah, maybe.
Tegan's such a.
They said they were going to have her feud with Charlotte. Charlotte was going to be the champion if Becky didn't, because Becky was going to take a break after WrestleMania anyway. But if she wasn't pregnant, like they're kind of replacing Becky with Charlotte. So if they didn't do that, Tegan was going to Charlotte was going to feud with everybody in NXT. Not major feuds, but.
Do you think, oh man, with this whole crossover thing, do you think maybe are they going to do a thing where maybe Becky, where they have Bayley and Sasha Banks is like holding everything?
Well, like an NXT title too, or
no, where I'm saying they have the tag teams.
Yeah.
And then they have one has the Raw champion,
oh,
and
so
the other one gets
Sasha
smacked.
wins one.
Yeah,
Maybe.
like Sasha, Sasha gets into a triple threat with her and Asuka and sneaks away with one, with the help of Bayley.
Well, they are there is a on Wednesday. There is going to be a defense of the women's tag title. So Bayley and Sasha retain at the pay-per-view. They're going to be on NXT. So maybe they do something where they bump into Io or something.
Yeah. Never know. I can see it.
Yeah.
Why not?
They're all taping in the same place anyway, so it's not like you have to
Yeah.
coordinate schedules or
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah. I did like the big NXT like nameplate that was on the side there too.
Oh, like the thing on the side of the set?
I thought that was cool.
One thing, speaking of Becky, I think I forget where I read it, but I think she did say that she does plan on coming back after she has her kid, and she kind of brought up like different people in wrestling who are mom. Mickey James has kids.
That's
to
not
be
unheard of.
It'd be very interesting to see how they are both in the road and who raises their kid though.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe like they move a parent in. Like a lot of people have a parent
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Sometimes they do that celebrity thing where you don't really bother for kids.
They're like, see you in 2 years, kids.
Yeah.
It's a little different than when it was back in like the 80s when people were on the road 300 nights a
Yeah.
year. Now, like when you're wrestling, it's not ideal.
Becky
but-
is not going to be a week-to-week girl.
I guess it all depends on what she wants. I mean, if she wants to, then they'll be like, okay. They're not going to say, no, go raise your kid. So I guess it's what she
And
wants.
they were already paring down house shows anyway, so it might be a thing where you're working like maybe Friday through Monday, and then you're
But yeah, you think they'll probably put them on the same show. So yeah, dad and mom will both be gone. I mean, unless they're like.
And when they're that young, like I know,
they
like
stagger 'em.
Triple H and Stephanie had a tour bus, and they just drove around with their kids until they were like school age.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you never know.
Yeah, who knows?
Who
I
knows?
just hope they don't break up. Like they have the kid, and like 2 months later, oh, they broke up. I was like, oh.
If they break up, who gets the boot? Because they can't.
They love them both.
They just probably put them on different
Yeah,
shows.
that's what I'm thinking.
One goes on Raw, one goes on.
Yeah,
SmackDown.
be professional. You can't fire some. Be professional.
Yeah.
Now sometimes some people like oh, you can kind of tell who's going. And I can't think one offhand, but
Yeah, like Mark
Matt
Merrill,
Hardy
Mark,
leader.
Mark
Yeah.
Merrill and Sable.
yeah.
We're gonna keep the hot girl. Without getting fully into SmackDown, anything notable?
Notable from SmackDown. Let me just kind of run through it here.
Because we are getting a little long.
The big thing, the big lead here is that new women's tag team champions, Sasha and
Yeah.
Bayley.
Yeah.
I want to go back and watch.
And
that.
then it builds to AJ Daniel Bryant, which airs tomorrow.
Yes.
Yeah, they did a prelude. Drew Gulak upset AJ Styles.
Yeah.
They got a big win over AJ, which that kind of telegraphs to me that AJ is winning the title.
Really?
They
yeah.
usually do that. You lose and then you win. Like, oh, God.
Well, what about?
And then Drew gets first
Well, do you
title
think?
shot, I
Do you
guess.
think it's a swerve because didn't Brie Bella accidentally tweet a photo of the belt with her Daniel Bryan's yes
Yeah, but
plates
they
on
said
it?
that was a fake one.
That was fake.
Yeah,
That was fake.
They just took his side plate from when he was world champion. And just
Oh, they
kinda-
photoshopped
yeah.
it. Okay. Alrighty.
Yeah, that was a big. I'm trying to look through. They just kept,
I'm okay with whoever wins there.
Yeah.
Happy either way.
You're not. It's not like one is better. You know what I mean?
That's probably gonna be a great match.
From what they said, it's already filmed and it's fantastic.
Yeah.
You know, what's funny because like my note from SmackDown, my personal note was I had a bag and board about 60 books, so I was like, all right, I'll do it in Lily's art room, playroom, and I'll put SmackDown on. And I dead set thought that AJ and Brian was going to be Friday, so I was like, oh, I can't wait to get to work, and I got to just running around, and then I got to go to the comic shop, and I haven't been there in 3 months, and then I'm going to go home, eat dinner, have beer. I'm gonna bag and board this. And I can't wait for this match. So then halfway through, like, oh, they're gonna have like a discussion. I was like, I literally been thinking about this match for like a week, and I gotta wait another week.
they're having a verbal debate.
I think what happened is. I think what happened is on the show last week we talked about that it's going to happen that week, and then on the way home, Brian's like, "Oh shit!" I go, what? He goes,
Next week.
"It's not happening this week. It's happening next week."
That's what happened.
Yeah.
The other things, they look like they're kind of setting up a thing with Otis and Corbin as a feud, and then they had a whole running gag where Miz and Morrison were just pranking Braun all night, like just messing up his shaker bottle, and they destroyed his car.
Is he gonna defend the world title in a handicap match?
Yeah.
Is that what they're going?
That's
Yeah.
what they're doing on Backlash, yeah.
Oh, boy.
And then Braun tipped over their van. That was how he got back at them. The best part about this was John Morrison, because at one point he
What
says...
if John Morrison sneaks out with the title?
I don't think that's... I think Braun's winning. I'm with the people who are saying that they might be breaking them up and one of them's going babyface.
I can't see one of them winning the title without everyone getting mad and turning on each
Right.
other.
Maybe that's how you break them out.
Maybe.
Or they blame each other for losing.
Yeah.
But Morrison deadpans at one point, this is how we do it. It's Friday night.
That's really funny.
I love Morrison.
He's great.
Yeah.
It was entertaining. Yeah.
He could be a guy that honestly, like, he would be the one, I feel, if you put him one-on-one with Braun, you can actually get a match. It makes it believable that the small guy beats the big guy.
Yeah, because he does.
Yeah, he
all
can
the
just do the
crazy
stick and
moves.
move. He
Yeah.
can work a leg a little bit.
I
Do
don't
some
know.
aerial stuff.
They need to, like, I understand if you're big that you should be booked big and stuff like that, but like once you start putting the titles on every single guy with muscles and every single guy who's 7 foot tall, it's like you completely eliminate half your roster. Like,
Yeah, it's like who's gonna beat him?
Shut up, pal.
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like,
I like the big guys.
that's why I'm hoping somehow in this handicap match one of them sneak out with it.
Yeah.
And then they'll be like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. To me, every single time a huge giant gets the belt, it's like you don't need it.
Well,
Well, you
get
look
ready
at it.
for...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get used to it. It's going to be going on for a while.
They
Yeah.
like that. They love it. I don't know.
That's why I was a Sean
so
guy.
big.
When Sean
Yeah.
was beating the Diesels and the Sids of the world, I was like, this is great.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Because when Braun has him, well, this guy isn't gonna beat him.
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan ain't gonna beat him.
And then
Like,
you have a
that's-
guy who beats him, and then you're like, oh, so you're gonna tell me that
Yeah, then no one believes him. Like,
this guy squashed Goldberg and squashed Brock Lesnar and squashes all these big guys, but then he loses to a tiny guy? You're like,
he loses to
boo. Yeah, I don't know.
whoever.
It's-
I don't know. Otis.
It's like you're
Otis.
painting yourself. Yeah, Otis. No, that's a champion.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I still think he's gonna not cash in and not win the title.
It could happen.
He's just gonna forget to cash it in. Cause
Yeah,
he's
he just
getting-
has.
he's
What if he
he's-
has it a whole year and they go, if you don't cash it in, you're gonna lose it, and he just loses it.
Yeah.
Fine.
He's so just enamored of
Smitten.
finally getting puss. He's just sorry. That's a very vulgar way to
It
say
is.
it.
Say a piece.
Yeah,
He has found love,
He,
Tony.
he is
No, that's the storyline. They're gonna be like, we never actually had sex, and that's when Mandy turns heel.
she friend zone somewhere.
Yeah.
So, yeah, horrible. All right.
So, kind of jumping through Raw here, we opened with a whole thing with the women, kind of setting up Asuka and Charlotte as a future feud. But really, it winds up with a non-title triple threat match where Asuka and Charlotte defeat the Iconics and Bayley and Sasha. And through this, they did announce for Backlash that they are going to have another three-way for the women's tag title. It's going to be the Iconics, Sasha and Bayley, and Alexa and Nikki.
Yeah, I'm all right with that.
That should be fun. And
You think Sasha and Bailey would get pissed if they lost to the Iconics again?
Again, yeah.
that'd be great.
Sasha disappears for another 8 months.
Go trains in Japan again.
More fun stuff with the Iconics. They're just very fun.
I love the Iconics.
So they have another update with Rey Mysterio. He
God.
said he's still progressing, and he's so mad at Seth Rollins that He's going to give him a 619 right away. How? It's going to be like a stripper pole in the middle of the ring.
You know what? He should talk to Keith Lee about how to have strong eyes.
Yeah.
Because Keith Lee took the key to the eye a couple times. He's fine.
He's great.
I'm so mad at you, I'm going to kick you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna spin around the ropes.
I'm gonna
and
put
kick you.
in the ropes.
As soon as this match starts, I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna tiger fight kick there by Io Shirai. That move has already. Never mind. I almost made a Rey Mysterio murder joke again.
Oh, no. But one of the cool parts about this, because they have Seth Rollins sitting there with the announcers, and it was shot very well. That he's just kind of there jawing with Ray, and Aleister Black just comes flying into the shot.
I seen a meme
I
that
like when they do
says
stuff like that.
when I finally see all my friends after this quarantine's over, the hug I'm going to give them, and it was Aleister Black diving over the table at Seth.
And that leads to a very, very brief tag match where Aleister and Humberto Carrillo beat Austin Theory and Murphy.
Can we just stop? Like every time something happens, like put him in a tag match. Like
Paul Heyman became Teddy Long.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why he's gone now.
oh
Tag
my
team,
god.
yeah.
From there, we had the Peep Show. Well, Randy Orton did an interview backstage with Charlie, just alluding there might be 2 guests for the Peep Show. And it starts with Christian kind of healing on Edge, like, oh, you don't have it. Like, it just kind of really instilled in him. Everything besides this goofy greatest match ever, and the build-up to this has been amazing, I think.
Yeah. And I mean, they're kind of using the name and saying, will you live up to it? Will you live up to it? I don't think you'll live up to it. That's a big moniker to live up to. Like, they're all kind of saying...
It makes some sense out of it, but still doesn't.
Yeah.
The Edge was on some podcast or some show basically shitting all over it.
Yeah, well,
Really?
he's like, no, there's no such thing as the greatest match ever. It's subjective.
Yeah.
Things like that.
You
Yeah.
can't blame him.
He's like, fucking please, can we drop that?
It's got people talking though. I mean, it's got us talking every week since they announced. It's
Yeah.
got everybody talking. I mean, there's no. It's everybody's saying the same thing we are. Is it going to live up to it? More than likely not. But it's got everybody talking. And on Sunday,
And we're all going to watch it to find out if it does.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm sure it'll be a
Yeah.
good match. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing Edge in a match again, like an actual match, and not a
a
Rumble
real
or
match,
a
yeah.
Brawl.
Or
Yeah.
a scripted match where he's getting killed in a gym.
Go back to their. I think it was Vengeance 04. They had a match for the Intercontinental title. It was fantastic. Might be Randy Orton's best match ever, other than the Cactus Jack No Holds Barred one.
I mean, let's not forget the house match with Bray Wyatt.
The house, what
The
was that called?
was it a fire? No, not it was a
I forget.
There's something House of Illusions.
House
or
of
something.
Horrors match.
Yeah, House of Horrors.
Chamber of
Horrors.
Horrors. No, that was WCW. Was there a chair of torture involved? So then you had a little backstage thing. MVP was actually wearing a Shag Gaspard T-shirt.
Yeah, which is
He
I'm
designed
He designed
or
that.
something like that, or he's behind the making of it, or
Oh,
something.
okay.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: shocked they let that get through because
Yeah.
that's a pro wrestling T-shirt. But
And
here's
you know
the thing:
Vince.
Shotzi Blackheart just put 3 shirts on pro wrestling tees.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe there's some type of loophole in the contract where you
Yeah.
can do that.
Shotzi just put 3 new shirts on there.
I don't think she has a WWE shirt.
And they're all awesome.
Really? Because
Yeah.
well, the NXT shirts for the most part suck.
Her shirt on Pro Wrestling Tees is awesome. It's actually like a skull with green hair
Well,
on
have
a
you pulled
tank.
that? I'm going to see if there's a Shotzi WWE shirt.
And then R-Truth is trying to hide during this, and MVP calls him a clown, and Bobby Lashley just kills him with a full Nelson. From there, we had the decathlon with the Street
Oh boy,
Profits
this is awesome.
and the Viking Raiders. Very long segment because there's a bunch of different events. One of the cameos here, there's a part where it's a dance contest, and the Street Profits do the Shawn Michaels Diesel thing. And then Ivar does the Fandango dance, and the judge that he's dancing with, there's a female judge that he starts dancing with, and she picks him to win because he's so cute.
That's the ongoing gag. of
And
all this.
Eric, not so much.
Yeah.
But that female judge was, she's been called Catalina. She's the masked girl.
Okay,
That
yeah.
was with Sin Cara last year, and she's
Yeah.
been in the crowd. That's her.
okay.
And then the way it all ends is a 5-5 draw. After all that, it's a draw. Because somehow the Street Profits won the hammer throw, and somehow the Viking Raiders won the pole vault. That was the big punch out at the end. Ivar is really good at pole vaulting.
That nasty Leroy guy who's in the crowd, like the guy with the special needs.
Yeah.
He has his own shirt now.
Does he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a GCW. He's friendly with Janela.
There's the NXT one's all right.
Yeah, that's
Shotzi
terrible.
shirt, yeah.
I'm trying to find the one on
But
Pro
some
Wrestling
are like,
Tees.
wait, I forget who one I looked up. Like, oh, that's awful. The Dakota Kai shirt. It's just like a little picture of her and it's Dakota Kai.
Any shirt with a picture of the person, like not a drawing, like a cartoon is cool. But any shirt where it's just an actual photorealistic picture of the wrestler, I've never liked.
Yeah, like the ECW ones had the cool drawings. They were
Yeah.
always cool.
Public Enemy had a really cool one. It was,
they did.
I forget his real name. It was like Jobo. Was always like Joseph Borzota or something like that. He had a really cool one. He used to do drawings for the Torch too.
Oh, okay.
And the next match on Raw was a triple threat match. Andrade beats Angel Garza and Kevin Owens to become the #1 contender for the U.S. title. He gets a rematch with Apollo at Backlash.
They're already
That's a
down.
good match.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe she was told to take them down.
I literally was on there today and I seen them, and now they're not there.
Are they in clearance or?
No, they were on the.
Maybe like you're side with us. You can't do that.
Yeah, they're gone already.
From there, we had the Viking Raiders and Drew kind of joining up backstage, and then we had MVP's VIP Lounge. We're just doing more. They're just doing more hype for the Backlash match.
Yeah, Bobby.
And it winds up going into Bobby Lashley and MVP beating the Viking Raiders. So now all these stadium event guys, anything you do, I can do better. MVP and Lashley beating both of them.
Yeah.
So how good are they? They're not very good at wrestling, apparently.
Are they the tag champs or is
Street Profits
Street
are the
Profits
tag
tag
champs.
champs?
And then we had our main event of the evening, which was Charlotte Flair beating Asuka in a non-title match. Again, they're kind of doing this thing where, they've said Asuka never beat Charlotte. Not true. Asuka beat her around Survivor Series last year.
Oh yeah, that is true. Yeah.
Beat her. So not true, but yeah, Asuka has had a lot of big losses to Charlotte. Nia Jax came in and kind of did a beat up because it's so weird that most of the build right now is Charlotte and Asuka. Oh yeah, she's going to wrestle Nia Jax on the pay per view.
For no reason.
I wonder who's going to win that one.
Yeah.
And that was Raw. I guess jump now into NXT.
Yeah.
So with NXT, just kind of the fallout from Takeover here. The Undisputed Era is there, and they're all happy. Still no Kyle. He might be in Canada. Yeah,
I guess
He's dead.
No. Kyle is type 2 diabetic, and it's tough to travel, like with the traveling,
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
because of his diabetes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big risk factor for
Really?
COVID too. Like diabetes is one of the ones that's a lot of bad outcomes for people that have that.
He's probably. I mean, it's hard to outshine
when you get
Adam
that
Cole.
New Japan going, type in
Is he awesome in there too?
Kyle O'Reilly versus Shibata. Let me watch that match.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, from King of Pro Wrestling. Yeah, that's
I
great.
can't imagine being bad. Kyle O'Reilly is fantastic.
Here's one that you'd be
Shibata's
familiar
pretty
with:
good, too.
Kyle O'Reilly versus Kushida from the Best of Super Juniors.
Yeah.
I think it was 14 or 15.
Oh wow!
And then there's Red Dragon matches with him and Bobby Fish.
Did you see that Nola Ninja guy that you wrestled
Nola
at PPW? Nola Katana.
Yeah.
Did you see his spot that he did with Amazing Red that he posted?
No.
Holy shit! They're both in like this arm drag situation, and I don't know if it's a lumberjack or a multi-man match. And he does an arm drag to Red. Red pops up out of the arm drag, immediately jumps to the top rope, like it's nothing. Like I don't even like. It's insane how he even did it. And then Nola jumps to the top rope, and they both do Spanish flies to each other
Oh wow.
onto a pile of people.
Jeez, no. I got.
And Amazing Red is not a spring chicken.
No,
He's been doing this a while.
It's a shame. I heard someone say if Amazing Red was born 10 years later, he would be
Oh,
such a star right
yeah.
now. Because he was in TNA at the time, and he was kind of like a big deal, but not.
It was like a cult.
He never got real far because he was a little guy. And it was TNA, and
That dude just.
I think he was ex-champ once.
He was.
Was he tag champs with Crimson?
He may have been later,
Yeah,
but yeah,
I think,
he X Division like the second year when they were doing like
Yeah.
Chris Sabin was coming around and Michael Shane and
Yeah, remember Michael Shane?
Mm-mm.
Then he had to change his name to
Matt
I
Bentley.
wonder if
Matt
he still
Bentley,
has
yeah.
that video.
It was too close to Shawn Michaels. No, it's not at all. But anyway,
His cousin, anyway.
yeah.
And then the first match on NXT is Candice LeRae and Jenny Gargano defeating Mia Yim and Keith Lee in a mixed tag match.
See, I thought they would save that for the next, but maybe not. Maybe it's too far off next takeover.
Yeah, who knows when it's going to be? Probably
Yeah.
before SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Not that far actually, if they're doing it before SummerSlam. And so Gargano got the schoolboy on Keith Lee to get the pin.
Keep it going.
And it was the thing where he inadvertently squashed Candice, and he's worried about Candice. So him being a good guy was bad for his wrestling.
Maybe they'll make it. They'll have a match in Takeover, right? And if the rules will be, if Candice or Johnny pin either of them, Johnny gets the North American title,
Maybe, yeah.
and then Candice pins Mia
Yeah.
or something.
Then they had a really quick match into Cher. I don't know if I'm saying that right or not.
I don't know. Yeah, the Middle Eastern guys, Indian guys.
guys,
Yeah, They're trying to be
with
political, right?
Malcolm Bivens, Stokely Hathaway. They beat Mikey Delbury and Mike Reed. It's the
Mike Reed sounds like some guy from Pottsville.
Yeah. Vote Mike Reed.
So then they have Eli Drake.
Eli Drake was on.
I just saw Drake. I forgot. Drake Maverick.
Drake.
Wait. I'm trying to read this as I'm going along here. Oh, Drake Younger. Drake the
Younger
referee.
versus Eli Drake versus Drake Maverick.
Light tubes.
Yeah.
They're talking about Cameron Grimes. Grimes was claiming to have a broken jaw. He wanted to get out of his match with Finn Balor. And Regal says, nope, he's wrestling him. They did a little hype thing on Breezango. You have a thing where Robert Stone is just kind of disheveled and
Still
Yeah.
Scratching himself like he's a junkie.
he's trying to recruit Rhea Ripley, and she's like, "There's the chances of her joining the Robert Stone brand are 1 in a million." So he does the. So you're saying there's a chance?
Yeah. I wonder what they're gonna do with him. Like, if they're gonna put some with him, or
heard
they
some
just fire him?
I heard some rumor that whole thing was supposed to just be to make fun of Tony Khan.
Really?
Because this thing he kind of
yeah.
looks like him.
If he comes out every week trying to recruit people, like, and then he finally lands Drake Maverick.
Oh God. Yeah.
No, he's just recruiting women.
Oh, he gets the point of trying to get anybody then.
And then Finn Balor beat Cameron Grimes. At this point, I even put in the chat, I'm like, I think I know where they're going here. And I think it still might be the case. Because they kept talking about how Adam Cole passed Finn Balor's record for the longest NXT title run.
Yeah.
Finn Balor keeps getting these big, clean wins. I'm like, are they going toward Cole Balor?
Yeah.
And
And put the belt back on Finn then.
But at the very end of this, Finn Balor gets a clean win, and then he says, I've been the NXT champion. I've never been the North American champion. He wants Keith Lee.
Oh, that'd be a good match.
But maybe I'm thinking that might be like a thing they do on a weekly show, and then like somehow you segue back
proper
to
rating.
yeah.
What if they have Finn win both belts? Or he wins the North American and then says, I'll put it up against the
they could
world
do that.
title.
You could definitely
And
do
then,
that.
then he's just world champion and gives the North American
But
back.
then there's another thing they're kind of teasing for the world title anyway. We'll get there later.
Yeah, I've seen.
Dakota Kai beat Casey Catanzaro.
She's so tiny.
She's
Casey.
very tiny.
She's almost too tiny.
Is that the Ninja Warrior girl?
Yeah.
Her and Ricochet could have some amazingly athletic children.
Yes, they could. They're
Really good.
flying around doing crazy
Imagine
moves.
trying to put baby gates up in that house.
Swinging
Yeah.
on the umbilical cord. Like,
Yeah. Woo! Climbing everything.
It's like, what the fuck?
Doing double flips.
Bouncing off the wall like Jackie Chan.
Whatever happened to Ricochet?
main event. He's a fixture on main event now. Him and
I guess
Cedric.
Vince must hate him. That's the only reason I can think of. It's not.
Yeah.
I mean, he can't talk, but he can sure wrestle.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
Then we had they had a little thing where they did a beatdown afterward. Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez beat down Casey Catanzaro until Caden Carter comes in for the save. So they're starting to work more women in.
no good. I
starting to work-
like Lacey Lane. I thought that was a better name.
Yeah. And then from there we have El Hijo del Fantasma coming out, and Drake Maverick interrupts and he wants a rematch. He congratulates somebody. He wants a rematch. He's like, what would have happened if my mind was clear, if I didn't try to get those two mystery luchadors? And just as they're talking about a rematch, those two luchadors come out, and there's a face-off. And then Fantasma turns and beats up Drake Maverick. It was him all along.
It was me, Austin.
It was him all along. It was him all along.
Of course, it's the Mexican guy. Hired two Mexicans.
And then the two masked guys unmasked, and it's Raul Mendoza and Joaquin Wilde. It was Filipino, not Mexican.
Oh, I thought
there
that
you
was
go. I think he's Filipino.
Vince don't know the difference.
Wait, to Vince are all Mexican.
And then Phantasma masks too.
I know. I think that's a misstep.
His mask was
His
cool.
mask was cool,
Yeah.
and he looks like Andrade when he takes his mask off, and you're like, oh.
And he declares that he is Santos Escobar, and no one can touch him. And that's going to be.
It could have been fantastic. Now, what toy would you want?
Prepared to die.
If you're a child and you see the Phantasmo, whatever his name is, and then Santa Escobar, which toy would you
I'm going
buy?
the mask guy.
Yeah.
It's making me think of Eric Escobar, who was on SmackDown for like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's a misstep there.
I agree.
And also, I don't like the WWE cliche of let's put all the people that are the same nationality together.
If you're the same race, you have to feud your team.
Yep.
That's
That's
what they
the
do
only,
with it.
yeah.
Awesome. To be fair, they
Are
do
you
that.
Italian, Andy Header?
yeah.
To be fair, they do that a lot in Japan too.
Yeah. Well, no,
It's a joke.
Yeah,
They're all
Japanese, yeah. I see what you're getting at there.
So next week, next Wednesday, they're having a women's tag title match. It'll be Tegan Nox and Shotzi Blackheart against whoever wins the three-way Backlash. And then they're also going to have Breezango against Imperium. So 2 tag title matches on NXT next week.
Oh, Imperium's coming back.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
I'd love-
not Walter, but
I would
wait,
love
but still.
Bartel and
Yeah.
Eichner.
I even forgot those tag team titles in NXT.
They're all right.
I forgot they were there. I mean,
They've had some great
Well, here's
matches.
something blowing your mind. There's UK tag titles somewhere in the world right now.
really?
Yeah. Who?
I don't know.
I couldn't tell you.
Gallus, maybe? I'm going to
Yeah.
guess Gallus.
Is UK still running?
No.
They haven't run shows.
No. I mean,
just
even when
canceled
it was
tapings.
running,
Tony Storm's UK Women's Champion, right?
But nobody. Is she in England? Is she in Japan?
I don't know.
Juice isn't in the
but Juice
tournament,
is
is
in
she?
that
Did she
tournament.
beat,
so I'm
did she
thinking
beat
Drew-
that girl, Tony Storm?
No, Kaylee Ray is the women's champion.
Oh, that's
in
right.
UK.
Yeah, she lost. I thought didn't Tony win it back?
I don't think so. Unless it was on TV. She
I'm
did-
gonna go on the website. And
Kaylee
find
Ray
out.
won the match. at
Walter's
Takeover.
world champion.
Walter's world
Yeah.
champion. And then the NXT.
Well, whatever happened? Well, that's another thing too. It seemed like they're just trying to put Finn Balor anywhere, waiting for this to go through because they want Finn Balor Walter.
Yeah. The thing is, like, apparently it's easier for people coming in and out of like Mexico and Canada now. Like, they're like things
Don't
where
tell Trump that.
where they're allowing athletes to come through.
You have to fly to Mexico,
Yeah.
then sneak across the border.
If I was Justin Trudeau, I'd be like, nope, they can't come in. No, you stay down there in the U.S.
You want to get in to wrestle? You gotta fly to Mexico. We know a way in.
Trudeau should build an igloo across the border.
Oh, man.
So the main event here was non-title match. Adam Cole did defeat Dexter Loomis.
Clean?
No,
Oh,
not
I
clean.
was gonna say
Not clean.
I didn't see this.
They did a little thing where Loomis has got the advantage, but the Undisputed Era runs in and they kind of take out Loomis and provide enough of a distraction. But Velveteen Dream comes in to help. I think they might wind up doing like Roddy and Fish against Loomis and Velveteen Dream or something like that. Because after Adam Cole wins, he's standing alone. He's standing tall.
Ciampa.
Scarlett comes
yeah,
out.
it's Scarlett.
Scarlett comes out. She doesn't say a word. She goes to the ring and flips over an hourglass. And Adam Cole's time is ticking.
Too soon to go right that. Killer
Yeah.
Cross should beat a few more people, I think.
Yeah.
I
I mean,
agree.
yeah, he'll beat a couple jobs, but
Let's just put the belt on.
Interesting,
Scarlett.
though.
That's what we want.
yeah.
What was that, Matt?
I said it's interesting because nobody saw it coming.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, that's, they really. I mean, Ciampa was their guy for a long time. I mean, he never really lost the title because he had to give it up because of his neck injury. Then he basically comes back in his pseudo face just because of how good his matches were when he was a heel, and he gets routed. They do a good job building up Ciampa and Cross, and he gets routed at in your house. It's like, well, they're clearly building up Cross. It's like they really put the rocket on him, and then is he going to, just dethrone Cole? It's almost like when Inoki was champion forever in New Japan, and then Vader came in on the first tour, beat him for the belt. Like, is that what they're doing here with Cross? I don't know, but I mean, it's interesting.
Even
Yeah.
more recently, Kevin Owens. That's how he did it.
Yeah.
He came in, he beat C.J. Parker, Juice Robinson, turned on Sammy that night. The next takeover, he's a champ.
Yeah.
Here's the only thing, though.
Yeah.
If they have fans, they're gonna turn on that right away.
I don't know.
I mean, I guess Killer Cross is
People
heel,
are loving
so.
that intro. The
Yeah, but I mean, if they love Adam Cole, if you have this guy come in and beats one person and wins the title, but they might be like, nope, we ain't having it.
yeah.
I don't know, maybe not.
I'm convinced Adam Cole can get anything over. I'm convinced if they're like, hey, Adam Cole, we want you to put a Hornswoggle over, I'm convinced Adam Cole would get it over.
Yeah, I think Adam Cole. I think his days in NXT are numbered. I think he's looking at main roster soon, especially now that they got him for 3 or 4 years, according to what this deal reporting.
That would have been 3 years a year ago, so 2 years if he did sign an extension last year.
Yeah, so we'll see. AEW.
AEW.
Kaylee Ray is the women's champion for UK, and
Okay.
Gallus is the tag champion.
Oh, how about that? I was right. And the Pact announced booth. It was fine, though. They didn't really trip over each other a lot, but you have 4 announcers here. Jim Ross, Tony Schiavone, Excalibur, and Chris Jericho all in the
And
announce
let me
booth.
tell you, Chris Jericho's so fantastic. So much
He's an
energy
amazing
doing
announcer.
it. Like, before people a little bit too much, Excalibur kind of took a sidebar for
Yeah.
the first
I
hour.
started watching a little bit. I started with AEW, and then I was just so tired I fell asleep. But I do remember Jericho said something. Oh, Jericho said, "Yeah, this guy's a killer guitar player," and J.F. Ross goes, "Bass guitar player," and he goes, "Holy shit, JR got me." Like,
But I think JR's wrong.
is he?
I'm pretty sure Andy Williams is a guitar player for
Really?
Every Time I Die. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Jericho's right.
But at least Jericho didn't waste a lot of time. Like,
Yeah.
no, he's like,
Yeah.
he's like, okay, I'll just sell this.
Yeah.
So the opening match there is FTR beating the Butcher and the Blade. I thought FTR was so good here.
Yeah, I thought it was a
Now
great
here-
opening match.
Here you go. Now
I thought Butcher and Blade's best match in AEW so far.
Yeah, and they came out as Butcher and Blade, not Miami Vice.
Yeah.
guys. Now here's the thing that my debate I had. I said, can FTR be faces?
Yes.
And you said that they
I think they're better as heels.
They play the heel, cut the ring off, but they played the same style match, but just did it like they still
They
wrestled.
upped the tempo enough to make him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they were still like he faked the injury.
yeah.
Cash.
Oh yeah, they're still gonna do that.
yeah.
but-
Yeah.
So like they
Yeah.
still kind of like cheated a little bit.
Yeah.
It's like Eddie Guerrero. He cheated, but people loved it.
Yeah.
I think when they put him with the Young Bucks and in front of
Yeah.
a crowd, the Young Bucks.
Maybe
are gonna
not
get
the first
cheered.
match, but after that, then they're going to turn
Well,
and
the
they'll be
Bucks
full on heels.
are coming out. Spoiler alert. So FTR wins the match, and then the Bucks come out
Yeah,
and
well,
kind of cut like a heelish promo.
Well, they do the Shatter Machine. That's now called the Midnight Express. Not the Midnight Express. The
Goodnight Express.
Goodnight Express.
and they
then
didn't they do the Meltzer
they do
driver?
this- no, they do the Spike Pile Driver.
Is
that
that-
was on? No, the Meltzer Driver is the Tombstone version.
Oh, okay.
One of the coolest things in this match is they're showing all the managers scouting out in the stands, and Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard, the Brainbusters,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
team that they were kind of modeled after, is out there scouting FTR.
and what's his name is staring
Sitting
at
in the
Tully,
back, yeah.
just staring at the back
I
of
don't
his
know
head.
what they're going to do with him. They
Yeah.
should just fire him.
He's
but,
obsessed with him.
Yeah, the match was pretty good, but they won with the Spike Pile Driver. They're calling something, mind implant or something like
Yeah.
that. I don't know. It's called Spike Pile Driver.
yeah, that's fine.
The match was fantastic.
Yeah, the Bucks take
I
them
loved
out.
it.
Yeah, then the Bucks come out. They congratulate FTR, but they say they've been carrying tag team wrestling for the last 15 years.
And we're the best in AEW. And then I would have been like, well, then where's your belts?
Yeah, hey. we want to wrestle Kenny and Hangman.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they had a whole big thing where the
Yeah,
Butcher
'cause-
and the Blade jumped the Bucks, and then Jimmy Havoc and Kip Sabian come in. Kenny Omega and Hangman kind of casually come in, and just have a big brawl, and they're kind of just building up to maybe like a Crockett Cup or
Yeah, but they're gonna have 2 matches next week. It's Jimmy and what's his name, Kip Sabian
Kip.
versus Kenny and Hangman. Right?
maybe that's why Billy Gunn
yeah.
isn't going by Kip, because there's already a Kip.
Yeah, maybe. And then their match is what? No, FTR versus
Well, I know they're doing the
I don't
Kenny
think-
and Hangman are wrestling or QT and Dustin.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
from
They
Nightmares.
they set up 2 matches.
QT and what's her name? Allie?
Allie.
Just
Not the bunny.
yeah, just that.
That is so weird, because AEW's only been on TV for what, like 9 months?
Yeah, and they just dropped it.
She started as Allie. She was just Allie. She wrestled a few times. She got attacked by Brandy. Kong cut her hair with a knife.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden she disappears, and then she's the bunny for a while. And now she's Allie again, no explanation.
Yeah.
And she's not going to Brandy. Hey, remember when you had Kong attack? Like, they just forgot it. It's like
Yeah.
WWE, forget it ever happened.
Yeah, it's like,
Men in
oh.
Black, they put the thing at you, and you forget it ever happened.
Awesome. All right. Imagine you bought those T-shirts.
Yeah.
You're like,
Oh.
But
Somewhere out there, someone did.
But obviously, it's like a thing where they're driving a wedge in between QT and Dustin, where like Dustin tells QT, "Get Allie out of his system. We have to focus on the tag title match."
I don't know where they're going with that though. Like,
No idea.
Allie goes with, I don't know.
I guess QT maybe turns heel, like he's
Maybe, but I
being
don't
like
know.
mind controlled
I
by
don't-
the Jezebel.
I know he's Cody's friend, but I don't really see much in QT Marshall.
So that and he's got the diamond cutter now. DDP bequeathed him the diamond cutter.
The
QT Marshall?
Yeah.
the Marshall cutter.
Then we had a tag match where Penelope Ford and Nyla Rose beat Hikaru Shida and Chris Statlander. The big thing here is Penelope Ford gets the win.
Yeah, I thought this match was pretty good.
Yeah,
it got
she got the
cooking
win
near
on
the end
Shida.
there too.
Penelope Ford's not bad.
No,
Like-
she got pretty good, and she's super hot.
She gets better.
Nyla did the double jump. What would you call it? The knee off the top to Hikaru and
Bombs away.
Chris Statlander. Yeah,
It
It was a good match.
I'm big on Nyla Rose. I think she's fantastic.
She's good, especially when she's in there with people that can really hang with her. I think,
Yeah.
like she's at a point now. Obviously, she's not been doing this like for crazy long, but like especially when she's able to do the David versus Goliath thing, where she's able to be the monster that somebody like Rio is going to defend, try to go against. I think she's really good in that role.
Mm-hmm.
it was a good match.
They had a little video package with Darby Allin, and Tony Hawk makes a little
Yeah.
appearance there.
And Darby's like keep failing this one trick or something to get tougher. And he said, "I'm still not clear."
Didn't Tony Hawk just recently break his finger really bad skateboarding?
Did he?
I think I was on like comicbook.com where
I
he
mean,
had,
I know they're doing a remake of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, like
Yeah.
a modern day remake.
Tony wasn't doing nothing, and he was just kind of standing there like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
get him, Darby."
Yeah.
We've probably never met before.
Then we had another Britt Baker promo.
It was good. It was
Yeah.
not as good as the first one.
The
But it was
first
still
one was
pretty
amazing.
good.
And she needs to be respected. Then we had a 6-man tag. Orange Cassidy, Trent, and Chuck Taylor beat Pride and Powerful, and Jake Hager.
This one was pretty. It started off a little slow, but got good, and especially when Arn
well,
Cassidy
here's a cool
turned it on.
thing that I'm gaining more respect for
XLAX.
XLAX, yeah.
The XLAX.
Did you see his post? Not the guy with the crazy hair, the other one.
I
don't know
think
their
the
names.
crazy haired one is Ortiz.
Okay.
I believe. I'm not sure. And then,
So
the one with the shorter hair is Santana.
Santana. So we'll just say Santana for the sake of argument. I don't know their names either.
No, yeah, you're right. You're right.
He put a post out, and it said, people can change, and don't judge people by their social media. He goes, pretty much saying, before you cast judgment on me, I'm going to show you right now. And it's a picture of him, and he has a pistol to the camera, and he goes, this was me when I was 19 years old. I was a bad person. I did bad things. This is me now, and it's him standing on the ropes at AEW. He goes, people can change. Stop holding people to what they did 15, 10 years ago, and look at what they're accomplishing today. And he just left it at that.
That's
cool.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that'll be, here's a picture of him recklessly holding a gun. You know what I mean? And he's like, before you go digging it, I'm going to let you know here it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so good for him.
And again, those House of Glory guys are pretty good. A lot of them are pretty good.
Listen, man. House of Glory is, if I was a pro wrestler, I would try to be getting in there. Like, it just,
I bet they probably have a lot. When they got the word that that's like the AEW's like feeder ground, there's probably so many people trying to
from what
get
I
in there.
heard, just from recent interviews, AEW's not AEW. Even before that, House of Glory is not. It is a tougher program to get into.
Yeah.
Like you have to be.
And they have so many trainees too that they're going to use them first, which they should.
Yeah.
So I mean, and when you have 20 trainees,
the best way I can describe it is like growing up in School County. Like, you could be an amazing basketball player, right? But if you play under Mick Holland, so Mick Holland was a coach for Monte Area Boys basketball, and Monte Area Boys literally probably graduate 40 kids a year, but somehow under his coaching staff, they were state championship contending basketball team every year he was a coach. Didn't always win it, but for being a small school, they did a great job.
Yeah. Right.
And but the thing is with him is he teaches the younger coaches, so when you sign up as Biddy, when you then move to 7th and 8th grade, when you then join, that's all his scheme.
Right.
So you are learning his scheme from middle school, from elementary up. So it was like you understood his. So by the time you hit there, now if you join the school late, if you didn't catch his scheme early, you could be the best player. You're probably riding the bench.
Right.
That's kind of how House of Glory is like. No, we're gonna.
Well, they got they probably have at least 20 trainees, and if 15 of them are wrestling, well, that's half your card, if not more, right there.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's not really room for.
It's like Chikara. Chikara's mainly.
Yeah. It's just
Listen,
trainees.
every single time one of them did our PPW show, I'm impressed. Every single time.
Yeah. Well, next time I talk to Paul, ask him how many people ask him to be on the show.
Yeah.
And that's PPW. And then it's like that for GSW. It's everywhere. There's so many, like they said, well, let me show you the messages so the other people want to come.
Yep.
So I can't imagine.
Yeah, and that's another thing I try to explain with people too. Like, you can't go to a promotion and act like an idiot because you are easily replaced.
Yeah, that's true.
Everybody wants to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah,
if you don't want to do it, there's 10 guys that will.
Yeah, super high on House of Glory. That is a promotion I definitely want to try to make it out to once everything goes back to normal.
It's a shame it's so far.
Yeah.
It's New York's like it's.
But
not,
isn't it on Long Island?
No, Queens.
Oh, okay.
Queens.
What's that, Matt?
No, the only problem what you guys are saying, like I agree that there's so many independent promotions. Like, or if you don't want to be here, somebody else will. But that's been a way for a promoter, an excuse for the promoter to lowball you on pay.
Yeah.
Like, say me and Andy Head are going to come in. I'm not going to give out what our over here. Let's say we're going to come in for $100. Like, no, I'm not going to pay you that. I'll just get this Jabron tag team for 20.
Yeah,
and
which
then
that
you don't get your rate.
Yeah,
so
that's
it's like, there's a lot of really talented independent wrestlers out there. I think the promoters kind of use that to kind of, well, I won't bring you for this guy. Instead of bringing in the A talent, I'll bring in the C talent.
Yeah.
And sometimes it kind of ruins their product.
Which, yeah, it does, and that's crappy. But I mean, like if they have if they need somebody and somebody just no shows, then yeah, they got people to fill in easily.
Yeah, it's always supply and demand is always a weird thing, and yeah, obviously people are going to try to use that competition as a way to lowball and things. But so moving on, they had an interview with MJF and Tony Schiavone, and MJF did that whole classic heel thing where he's being a dick, but he's also right.
Yeah,
I'm undefeated for over a year. Somehow Jungle Boy, well, he got a title shot because he beat you in a battle royal, but. Like, why is Mark Quinn getting a title shot and not me? So
that makes sense. Well, they're going to build that up and eventually get the title shot. But yeah, they shot the shot. that sounds stupid. But Billy Gunn was in the whole time. Like, why is Billy Gunn? I'm like, oh, okay. And then they set up a match.
Billy, not
just Billy.
Billy.
Like, he lost his last name.
Yeah.
Quite like people in WWE.
So MJF says he's a great white shark swimming in a pool of minnows, and Billy says he's the great white shark. And so basically it's going to lead to Billy and MJF next week.
Yeah, I thought they were going to do a tag match.
Yeah, I thought it was
Billy
going to
and
be
Austin
MJF and
versus
Wardlow
yeah.
against the Guns. Yeah.
Wait, Billy versus MJF?
Yes.
Wow. That's awesome.
And then we had Sammy Guevara beating Colt Cabana. Mainly very story-driven. It's all about Colt Cabana on a losing streak.
Yeah.
They really emphasized...
They're both on losing streaks.
Well, that was the thing. They said both guys really need this. And then Sammy won. And then Brody Lee comes out, and it seems like Colt might be joining the Dark Order. He seems to be...
And he leaves, and then Colt
warming
goes to the
to
bad guy tunnel, which is the left side tunnel when you're looking at the TV screen.
Didn't then Sammy call somebody out? I thought I seen an article where
No,
Sammy...
Matt
Matt
Hardy
Har-
comes out.
Matt
Oh,
Hardy.
yeah,
Matt-
Sammy
Matt
versus
came
Matt
out.
Hardy. Yeah, that's what they're building towards.
Yeah.
That sounds like a fun match.
It should be pretty good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, like Mr. Brody Lee, excuse me.
I'm sorry to
helps.
go back, but
Better.
did you guys talk about what happened with the Orange Cassidy?
Oh, no, good call. I totally forgot that. After the six-man tag, the Inner Circle beats up Orange Cassidy. They do the Full Metal Jacket thing where they load up a sack of oranges, and they beat him over the head with it. Cassidy blades.
Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah. He's a bloody...
Dave's
He's a
bleeding.
blood orange.
Yeah. He goes down the one part. I'm like, I'm like, well, I did. How about that? And yeah, and then Jericho like bites into the orange. And if you bite into an orange, it's terrible. The orange skin.
Yeah.
And it's like he starts spitting it up. I'm like, yeah. And then like,
I bet the stitches felt great in an open cut.
yeah. And then Orange Cassidy's laying down, and Santana or Ortiz, one of them, goes over and squeezes it. It goes right in his ear. I'm like, come on. I texted it, man. It's like, we want right in his ear.
Aw.
Poor Orange. I'm sure he'll be all right.
The baddest man on the planet.
Yeah.
No
And that-
shirt yet.
Well,
No
that match
shirt.
with Jericho is gonna be something else.
That should be fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And
Be a lot
then
of
then we'll get the podcast after, which will be great.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Orange Cassidy will ever be a champion?
A TNT champion, yes.
Yeah, totally.
And
Definitely
tag team
TNT.
champion, probably, yeah. I
You don't think
world
world?
champion? I don't know.
That's
I
a
don't
tough
know.
sell.
Yeah,
I think they know that. I think if you do that, you run the risk of being like, really?
yeah. Maybe like a
like-
Mikey Whipwreck thing.
What if they get to the
Freckle-
point where they just let
And
him,
that was
like-
that was bad for Mikey Whipwreck in the long run too.
Yeah.
yeah, where they just let him loose? Like, because if he's not doing
Yeah, if they
his
let him
lazy
wrestle.
gimmick,
Yep.
he easily is a world champion.
Oh, he's talented. The reason I wouldn't make him world champion is nothing to do with his talent. That guy is
Yeah.
crazy talented. I think you would actually hurt that character by putting them that high on the card.
Yeah.
I think like a comedy program with Jericho while Jericho's between bigger spots. I think that's what it is. Like you don't have to be
But
the
what
champion
if
to be
they
a
do
key
the whole
player.
thing
Yeah.
where like not to bite off the Britt Baker thing, but they're like, if you just you're so good, like kind of build him as like the greatest of all time if he just applied himself.
I
like-
think they'll do that, but probably for the TV
TNT
title.
title.
Yeah, and then just be
It'd be
like,
great if he was got throwing Cody, and that's why Cody turns heel. Because
Yeah.
Cody gets so much heat. But anybody that turns on Orange Cassidy is going to get a ton of heat.
Yeah. All right. Well, what do we? And Cody. Did you talk about? Oh, that's on the. That's the
That's
main
later.
event.
That's main event, yeah. And then Hardy, then Sammy came out, said he was the best wrestler in AEW. That's when he calls out Matt Hardy. And so then Matt kind of goes from Matt Hardy to Matt Hardy version 1 to Damascus, and then he says he's going to eat and delete Sammy Guevara.
Yeah, I think if they have a final deletion type match, that might be pretty good.
Yeah. Does Sammy go over
Well,
on Matt?
You guys are missing. You guys are missing one thing. It's where they kind of teased Sammy Guevara turning face because Matt Hardy said, "I think that you're better than the Inner Circle."
Oh yeah, he said you
Yeah.
need to leave.
So they
get away
planted a
from
lot
Jericho.
of they planted a lot of seeds on the show because they also planted the seeds of Cabana possibly turning heel and going with the Dark Order. There was
Yeah.
a lot of things that was planted on the show.
And they are kind of hinting to Cody maybe starting to lose it, or like not this show, but
They've been kind of subtly hitting that
yeah,
for a while.
Yeah, building it up to that.
I think that long run Cody is a heel is the way to go.
Yeah.
And then we had a video package. This is a little bit kind of interesting. It's Joey Janela, kind of like he said he came to AEW to be a star, but he's gone from wrestling John Moxley to being an afterthought. They showed like his best days might be behind him. They showed when he got the
Xandig, I
Xandig
didn't
driver
notice.
off the roof,
Yeah, I was
yeah.
like, I want to go back and see that.
Wait, what happened?
he took a
And
what was like a
CZW.
kryptonite crunch, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, Andy's move, the one
yeah.
Andy always
So
like,
they're
does a
like
single.
they're on top of this, with the truck or was it a roof?
They were on top of a building and
Yeah.
they
Onto a
landed
truck.
on a truck.
Yeah.
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 With a kryptonite
It
crunch.
was like
yeah.
a death match tournament or something. Survival of the
nuts.
fittest or something. Yeah, it's insane. It was this clip that they would play all the time.
It's on
like
YouTube,
CZW.
yeah.
Yeah.
I like Joey Janela a lot. Every match I've seen him in so far in AEW, it's been good. I've never seen a bad one he was in. I thought him in the Kenny match was fantastic.
That was.
I
that
think
was
he
really
always
good.
gives it his all. I think
Yeah.
he's a hard worker. And but yeah, this is him just mainly kind of drowning in his sorrows. He's literally drinking at a bar. Then they show him like staggering down the street, and Sonny Kiss pulls up in a convertible,
Yeah,
and
like a fancy like
Yeah.
Ferrari or something.
they kind
It's a
of
nice car.
they kind of drive off. Maybe this is another tag team.
Yeah, because he goes, what are you doing here? And it's like, I don't know, what are you doing? He's like, you want to ride? He's like, yeah, this is a nice car. And it says to be continued, so they must be doing something. Sonny Kiss finally gets a storyline. It's only been 9 months.
Fantastic.
The only problem is that the tag division is so deep
Yeah,
already.
it's so stacked. It's like,
Yeah.
what are they? I don't want Sonny to be his manager. That makes no sense.
Like, what are they gonna, like? They're gonna be like losing to the Butcher and the Blade.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, you already have like. I don't think they'll ever like. I know they put him over hard, but I don't see Private Party beating a Butcher and the Blade. I don't see Private Party beating FTR.
Yeah, I
like,
know.
and these are like, yeah, I think the people down that level are gonna be guys that are like their wins are gonna be against like Peter Avalon and somebody, or
Yeah.
or 5 and 3 in the Dark Order.
Well, here's the thing
Even
too.
best friends are like getting the next title shot. Well, not next, but
No,
going.
I think the next one's QT
Well,
and
here-
Dustin.
well, here's the thing too, and I maybe I'm just we're already starting off on the wrong foot thinking this way, but like the thing with pro wrestling too is not everyone is meant to be a champ. They are just to be
Yeah.
what they are, and it is okay to form a tag team and not be in a championship contending
Yeah.
as long as you go out and be entertaining.
Yeah, but I mean, there's so many tag teams right now.
Yeah.
And
So it's a
it's like
stacked
the
roster.
opposite. Of
But I
WWE.
think that's a very easy thing that we can get caught up in as wrestling fans, where you watch a guy and you're like, well, he'll never like. Even I tend to do it too, where I look like Orange Cassidy. Will he ever be a champion? No, but he doesn't really need to be either.
Right.
No.
He's a top merch seller. People love watching him. He's super entertaining. He doesn't really need a belt to put him over. Like he's almost bigger than a belt at this point. You know what I mean? Like I guarantee if
Like
you,
like Jake Roberts.
yeah, if you line up, if you go to a merch store and you line up 20 Orange Cassidy shirts and 20 John Moxley shirts, I bet the Orange Cassidy one sell out
Yeah.
first. You know what I mean? Like
He drew a bigger rating than Mike Tyson when
Yeah.
Mike Tyson was on Dynamite.
Yeah.
when that Orange Cassidy figure comes out, it's be the number one selling.
yeah, so I know, like, even like I said, we fall victim to it a lot too, where they're like, well, this guy should never beat this guy, and that, but at the end of the day, it's pro wrestling and it's entertainment. Like maybe I'm just thinking into stuff too hard, but yeah, no, yeah. If they're a tag team and they kind of wrestle the other lower tag teams and they're
it doesn't mean
entertaining,
that they have to be champions, but it's very easy to get lost when there's
Yeah.
a ton of tag teams.
I agree. But I'm excited.
And then they're back on AEW Dark.
Yeah.
By the way, very close ratings this week. AEW, both down though, unfortunately. AEW was at 677,000 viewers, and NXT was at 673,000.
Oh wow, that is real close.
AEW did have the big edge in 18 to 49. They had a .23, and NXT had a .16.
when the crowds come back and people, then the ratings will go up.
Because at this point, like it's still like the news is dominating everything.
Yeah.
And
And then
MTV
there's a
had
lot of
the
people that
challenge.
just check out. There's no crowd ain't watching.
Honestly,
No.
just to be like,
And you had actual sports.
But I don't know if you guys
know.
noticed that there was more people in the crowd this time.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like more, and then there was a whole section in the back that was just people,
Like
Yeah.
no
Florida,
wrestlers.
Florida, I think you can. It's just you have to be at like either 25 or 50% of capacity. But
Yeah, like they're
it's
not selling tickets.
It's not
but-
like AEW has to worry about selling tickets because they own the building. They're not
Yeah.
paying rent.
Yeah, and it's probably just friends and family hanging out.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's interesting. I can't wait for it to go back to normal. But like even right now, with everything being down, like you would think that people are home, that they would watch more TV or they would do like, but people are like either they're doing more things that they normally wouldn't do. Like I know you're supposed to be staying in,
Right.
but like people are doing yard work. They're getting stuff done around
Yeah,
the house.
painting.
They're painting.
Yeah,
They're building.
making big.
They're working on stuff. They're like no like me personally, podcast numbers aren't higher than they normally are.
Right.
There's
a lot of people listen to podcasts on their way to and from work and at work.
where it's like part of your like, hey, I want to go to work, I come home, I watch my show, I listen to my podcast,
Yeah,
I play my game. Where now you're like, well, that work part's not there. You would think the rest of it would substitute in,
yeah.
and then they get caught up doing other things they normally wouldn't do, and then don't really get into their other
Yeah.
routines.
No, I had all for 1 week for vacation. I listened to a ton of podcasts, but that's
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, I can't really. I haven't really had the time off, so I
Yeah.
can't really weigh in on
I'll tell you what, we are getting numbers back, but it's like they're very late to the like the one episode I did. Had like 8 listens and then it jumped to like 45.
Wow.
And but it was so far down my list, I didn't go back and look. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, so we are getting numbers, but people are like, it looks like people are catching up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been getting a lot of it lately. Like with Burner My Dude, it's like we had a month or two there was like to the moon, and then it kind of came back to normal.
Yeah.
But anyway, this is a rundown of the matches they did announce for next week. You have Billy with Austin Gunn, Billy Gunn against MJF, Omega and Page against the Natural Nightmares for the tag titles, a TNT title match. I don't think they announced who it is.
No, because
I thought they did. I thought it's
no, that's Fighter Fest, not next week.
Yeah. The guy from
If they-
Private
if
Party.
If they do,
That was this week.
yeah. So that match,
Oh.
yeah, we kind of skipped over that match.
It's later. We haven't gotten there yet.
Oh yeah,
No.
it was okay, but they set up a match, but not for next week.
Best Friends is putting their tag title shot at Fyter Fest on the line against Sammy and Jericho. So maybe again,
Oh yeah,
maybe something happens there where Sammy and Jericho have some kind of dissension.
Double
Yeah.
sex gods.
And
I say keep them together. There's still a lot of mileage left there.
and then the Young Bucks against Havoc and Kip Sabian also.
Okay.
Then you had an interview backstage or in the parking lot with Moxley, talk about Taz running his mouth, and Taz confronts him, and then it's all lead in the cage.
Does
attacking
Mox
Moxley.
beat Cage?
Of course he does.
Yeah, I think so. And then Brian Cage throws him to the car. Like Moxley smashed the car window, and this poor Chevy Cruze.
Yeah.
Moxley got slammed on the roof, and then he broke the window, and then Brian Cage slams on the back window and shatters it. So.
And then we did have the TNT title match where Cody defeats Mark Quinn to retain the title.
It was.
Did he blade?
No, he didn't do anything crazy. This one was a little lesser of a match anyway. It was all right.
He did win by submission. He did kind of a foreshadowing to what is going to happen to Fyter Fest.
Yeah.
He wins by ankle lock.
Yeah. But he did take the jacket off Mark Quinn, and he looks so much better without that jacket. He's in good shape. Like, he should not wear that jacket to wrestle. Wear it to come out, then take it off.
So then we have a big brawl with Cody and some of the Inner Circle guys afterwards, and that leads to Cody challenging Jake Hager for a TNT title match
yeah, that's
at
what it is,
Fyter
yeah.
Fest.
So there you go. But if he defends every week, he has to defend against somebody.
Twice.
I don't know.
Well, he has to defend it twice, doesn't he? Because it's going to be a 2-week event.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, he would.
Here's what I think is going to happen. I think that Cody and Hager's going to open up the first night of Fyter Fest, and then after Cody wins, MJF's going to jump him because they've been building up that feud for a year, and then that'll be the main event of night 2 of Fyter Fest. I think that's what's going to happen.
See, I don't know, the whole, well, this title can be defended against anybody from any promotion. That's just a segue for a cross-promotion
I think
thing.
that's just a
gimmick.
Might be a
we're
marketing
gonna
thing.
say
Down the road.
we're going to say this, but not actually do it.
I don't know, man. They said they're open to working with NWA
Well, they could always
Power,
bring a guy in for
ROH.
one night, too.
Yeah, like they did with Jeff Cobb.
Yeah.
They could, but
Especially after July 15th when a lot of those guys are freed
Jeff Cobb's
up.
in that Japanese in the G1 that tournament.
no, that was the original brackets.
Oh.
No Americans are in this because it's all the people that live in Japan.
Oh, I thought he was initially.
Yeah, so was Cole Cabana and
Oh.
Will
Travel
Ospreay.
is going to be tough right now.
Although
That's right, yeah.
internationally.
Will Ospreay moved to Japan,
Yeah.
but he's not there now. So I guess when this went down, he was in Europe or something. So
He's not in it at all either.
No, yeah, that'd be
That
great
sucks.
if he was.
I'd like to actually.
Yeah,
see.
the only Saber's in there.
Yeah, because
but,
apparently they said he lives in Japan now.
but I don't know who else is. There
that where Tony Storm's
Storm
stuck?
Americans.
No, apparently
'Cause
Tony
Juice
Storm
would be in there, I
It's
think,
in
if-
England or
Oh.
somewhere, UK somewhere.
Yeah. Cool.
So that was Dynamite. I thought they were both pretty good shows.
Yeah, Dynamite was pretty good. I just seen highlights NXT, so I can't really speak for you. But Dynamite was, especially the revival match.
Yeah.
Was very good.
Yeah. I have a little bit of time. I have
Both
something
excellent shows.
real quick that I could have put in the news, but I forgot. So they had the developer of the WWE video game did like a Reddit question and answer thing, and
Of last year's, you mean?
for the
Oh,
upcoming
that
game.
new one, the Battlegrounds, or whatever it's called.
No, for the new 2K.
I thought it was canceled.
It is, but they're just putting it on postpone for this year, and they're going to double up and make.
Oh, so they're already working on
Yeah.
when it does come out.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And I guess what he said is like kind of what we talked about a little bit. Like they kind of got the licensing to the game late. Like I guess they were like, "Hey, we're gonna get away from this company, give it to you, but we still need the game out by this time."
Oh boy.
And it was like we weren't proud of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're like, "So here's what we're gonna do. We understand where the game is right now. We did our best to get it fixed to where it is. We understand create a wrestler is a very important thing to you guys, but we're not going to waste resources to make patches for it to work.
Yeah.
Pretty much what the game is now is what it's going to be. We're not going to waste resources to fix it. We're going to put all that resources into the next one. Supposedly, they said that Creator Wrestler is going to be super intensive again. That it's going to come back better than ever. Universe mode is going to be a lot better. There's going to be match types in this game that they said that were never in any other game before.
Well, because they really put in it that hasn't been in it,
I'm not sure.
unless it's a cinematic movie.
Yeah, cinematic matches.
I mean, other than that, I mean, every other match type has already been in the games.
But for what he was like, what there's like, I didn't go through. He said the control scheme's going to be completely different, and he says we are looking at the older style wrestling games that people are a fan of, like the No Mercy.
They always say that.
Everyone says
Every
that. Wrestling game
and
ever
no
has been
one
a No Mercy
delivers.
engine.
Yeah, so I don't know if it'll be as simple, but I think it's going to go back to like
A grapple
grapple up A, up down A, left A, right A. Like it's going to be super simplified.
The one SmackDown was sort of like that. You would grapple and then you had circle and triangle.
No
or
Mercy. Or not No Mercy. Here Comes the Pain.
No, one on 360. And one would be like your submissions, and one would be like slams.
Yeah.
And one was like chain wrestling. There was that year they put chain wrestling.
The button schemes aren't super hard, but there is ones where they're like
some are real in.
They're like super hidden ways to do a move, and you're like, how the fuck do I do that? And they don't really explain to you.
Like
how
you
to
shouldn't
do it.
have to play the tutorial for 2 hours to figure out how to wrestle a match. That a lot of people are like, oh, this is too much.
So I guess from what the overall census was, this Q&A was is people are more excited for this, like the new developing team to have a full 2 years to work on the game.
Yeah.
And really polish it up and get it out there. Like they were even saying, like even the scans of wrestlers weren't like when they left, when 2K or whatever left, and they gave them the thing, they were like, "We're not giving you anything. Like you're not taking our facial scans." So they're like, "We had no scans of like." That's why characters didn't look that great because they were trying to pull a scan of China from a game where it was like an old scan, and they were trying to make it work for today's
They
times.
should just canceled it. Like, why was WWE so dead set on putting it out?
Yeah. So I guess what they're gonna do is they want to.
I think it did more harm by putting it out than if they were just not put it out.
Yeah,
it did. So I guess what they're trying to say, they're gonna try to reestablish the game, and they are gonna do like a bi-yearly thing where it's gonna be
You don't
like
need one every year.
or not every. I don't know if they'll get away with a bi-yearly, but they said they want to focus on this game, but they also want us to do like a secondary game like the battlegrounds and stuff.
Do one, you could do either or, flip it back and forth.
And there's tons of wrestling games coming out, in the next year or two. So it's not only is it a fun time to watch wrestling, but the video games are going to look like they're coming back full circle. There's so many independent independent companies making.
The problem is a couple of them are just for computer.
Pretty
so
wild
it's like,
wrestling games, yeah. That's all I got. Matt, what do you got to plug?
Guys, as always, check me up on the social media. Any questions, comments? You want to talk about heavy metal, both the music and the comic book coming out, comic books and pro wrestling, just hit me up on Instagram and Twitter under Matt Turner. Also head over to ProWrestlingTees.com, type in Blue and Gold, and buy yourself a t-shirt.
Yeah.
There you go.
I just ordered the Black Lives Effing Matter shirt. What
Oh,
was
that
the
ECW
ECW logo.
yeah.
Did you see that one, Matt?
Yes, I did. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I ordered that one. I was like, I have to get that. I like the ECW logo, but it also
I still have my ECFW shirt.
100% of proceeds going to.
Yeah, how about that?
Good for them.
Like I said, I was like, if it was like half or quarter, I'm like, no, they're just cashing in. But 100%, they're not cashing in.
Yeah, they're doing it for the right reasons. That's good. What do you got, Matt? What do you got, Andy?
Nothing.
Check Andy out at Not Cool in High School.
Yeah, there you go. There we go.
and interview next week.
Yeah.
And the interview coming up next week. Check that out.
So yeah, there we go. Yeah, check out the interview and be some wrestling soon on the internet to watch.
Hint, hint.
Yeah,
hint. Well, maybe we'll get
on the YouTube. So,
and if they need someone to come review the show, they'll tell them.
Okay.
Tell them we know, guys. Speaking of reviews, man, we did a lot. I've been recording a ton of interviews for the show. So there's going to be interviews where you're going to listen back, and it may be like a month or two from now, and you're like, what are they talking about in your house for? Spoiler alert, I recorded them. I recorded like 15 interviews in a 2-week span. So trying to get a little bit of backlog so when we finally get back to normal, I kind of have some content out there to put out and kind of give guys some time to talk and get stuff out there. So look forward to some really, really cool interviews. And we got invited to other states. So
Yeah.
we may explore other states when it comes to independent wrestling, which I'm pretty excited about.
Yeah, I lived in Delaware. I've never been to a wrestling show in Delaware. I know
Delaware and Maryland
I
we've been
have.
invited to.
so is Matt Turner.
Yeah. I was trying to
All the time.
I put your name out for a promotion in Delaware that's looking to do a huge tag team tournament.
Where do we go?
I said you should contact Blue and Gold, and they said we definitely will.
I hope so.
I know a team. I know 2 guys.
Yeah. Brian.
Murder My Dude, we are still doing a whole series for June on Pride Month. This week, one of the most famous ones the whole Andrew Cunanan, Gianni Versace murder from 1997. We covered that. Covered some current events again, but not as much as the last couple of weeks. We tried to get it out of our system a little bit. And just a typical true crime comedy. Somehow they work together. I don't know how it works, but it does. Check it out.
Now, when is the Pride Fighting episode happening?
We made that joke this week because this coming week we're doing Eileen Wuornos. If you ever saw the movie Monster with Charlize Theron, that was that. And then my co-host said, and then we're doing Fedor Emelianenko.
Yeah,
not that Pride.
Not
that Pride.
Has anyone ever died in Pride?
No, people have died in MMA, but not in Pride.
It was all fixed anyway.
They did a creative way of fixing it where here's how they would. Well, they actually had fixed fights, but one of the ways they would fix fights, just say you're fighting Andy and I want Andy to win. I'm going to tell Andy, okay, get ready. You're fighting Tony in 8 weeks. And then 7.5 weeks later, I'm going to be like, Tony, can you fight Andy on Saturday?
Oh, okay. Yes,
That's how they would fix fights.
Yeah. Or a guy would go out and get hit in the nuts by Rampage Jackson and take a dive and say, I'm not getting back in the ring.
Right.
Rampage gets disqualified.
Or Kimbo loses and then the whole promotion goes out of business.
Well, that wasn't Pride. That
I know,
was
that was
Elite
that.
XC.
Elite XC,
That
yeah.
title belt was beautiful, though. I wonder what happened to that title belt.
And then the guy who knocked him out became a striking coach in WWE for a little while.
Really?
Seth
Wow.
Petruzzelli. Yeah.
You know who was the first fight in Elite XC? I could be wrong with this, but I'm pretty sure this is...
First women's fight, I think, was Baszler, wasn't it?
Really?
It
Wow.
might have been, but the first male who was
it
on
Matt Riddle?
was Murphy from Minersville, the dude from our area.
I don't know.
John Murphy. He was the one who was on Bully Beatdown. He had really long curly hair, and he got in trouble on Bully Beatdown because he head kicked the kid.
Oh, gee. The name is a little bit, but I don't remember.
Yeah, I believe he might have been the first Elite XC
Wow.
fight. I
that?
could be wrong about that, but he might be. Yeah, he's from our area. He was a MMA
That was
fighter
like
for a
the
while.
height of MMA.
Yeah.
I'd say overall, like not just that for all for
Yeah.
MMA federation.
Yeah, Murder My Dude. Just look it up anywhere and you'll find us. And first fight on TV was Charles Bennett and KJ Noons.
Oh, was it on that pay-per-view?
It wasn't a pay-per-view. It was like a Showtime special.
Oh,
It was Henzo Gracie against Frank Shamrock was the main event.
Ooh.
What'd you say his name was?
John Murphy.
I don't see him anywhere on here.
No.
Maybe it was an air promotion.
Maybe
I
it
see
was.
Tim Percy, but not.
I know. Maybe when it was when CBS or NBC had an MMA thing.
Okay,
I think
they were on CBS later. Yeah.
Yeah, that might have been it. Yeah, I think that's what it was. Something like that. He was like the first major television channel that wasn't like ESPN.
Yeah, because Elite XC started on Showtime and they moved them to CBS. I'm trying to find the first CBS show here.
Yeah. All right. Well, that'll do it for Tornado Tag Podcast. We'll see you guys next week. Next. I don't even know what I tried to say there.
I don't
We'll
know.
see you next week. Here's some no rain checks.
Wow.